Hello, welcome back to another episode of Podcast 572. As always, I'm your host, Kyle, joined by my two friends, Dan and Matt. The two games that I've been playing, you and I are going to piggyback talking about them, Dan, because you've been playing them as well. We'll talk about the big new hot release of the week, which is Halo Campaign Evolved, or Devolved, as I like to call it.
I like to call it the minimal effort edition.
That's a good way to put it as well. It's a bummer, and
yeah, it's just it's fine. Like, it's not that. It does and it doesn't.
Yeah. So the game had, I don't know how many performance issues you've had with it.
Last time when we finally got to that open area where it was just chopping the hell.
I think the first night we played, we had connection issues. That could have been a launch day thing. I don't think we did the second time we played. So I give that a little bit of a pass, but we've only done 2 sessions because we're playing in a group of 4. Which the game was never designed to be a 4-player co-op game, and it's very obvious as you play it. It is just, and again, we're only playing on heroic. We didn't want to do legendary the first round through, but I feel like it's not going to be that bad with 4
it's
people.
Pretty easy with 4 people.
We're just running through everything.
You don't have to stop. I was looking at you can kind of see stats because of the trophy tracker and stuff.
Yeah,
I have a lot more headshots than I thought I would have had by this point, just because. I'm just running. We're all just running through shooting everything. It's just not balanced for 4 people.
It's not balanced for 4 people. But again, it was never created as a game for 4-player co-op where Halo 3 was and on. Performance wise, it hasn't been too bad for me until was it Assault on the Control Room? That was the most recent thing we played up to the library?
Yeah, because it finally got to the point where they were starting to introduce rates at the same time as.
There's wraiths, there's tanks,
plus drop ships are coming constantly, and things are exploding constantly because it's heroic, so things are going to explode more. It finally started to take a hit.
It does that thing that it tries to compensate a frame rate for on the game by making the frame rate less on the enemies. Mm-hmm. The problem is it just makes them look like they're in stop motion,
right?
Because it's that low. And it just chugged the entire game. And
the problem is because we're playing with 4 people, it's not like I can just look away from it and it'll fix itself. Because it's everyone's experience together.
Yes. So it made that not great. And again, to be fair, if I look back and go and think about Halo MCC, there is no 4-player co-op for Halo 1 and 2. So I can't compare it to that because it doesn't exist.
Really shouldn't be. And then it really feels like it now that there really should.
It really feels like, yeah. And I get why they did it, especially not putting multiplayer into this thing, which is also that's another grave sin of this thing. I don't see why they couldn't have done
this. That feels more disappointing that doesn't exist.
It's extremely disappointing because once you're done with the campaign and do everything there's nothing else. It's over, There's things that have been changed about it. Weapons do feel a little bit different. Cortana, you can go off of the Cortana thing. Sometimes she looks okay, sometimes she doesn't look okay.
Yeah, it's weird. That last
it's weird.
The last cutscene with the gold cutscene,
they made her super big.
Yes, there are parts where she looks great. And then the next scene in that cutscene, she looks terrible.
She looks terrible. Yeah.
It's so strange.
It's really strange.
And you're right about, it doesn't quite feel right. Weapons don't feel as heavy. Maybe that's just me remembering it differently, but, everything feels really light.
They changed the entire sound of the shotgun, or not the shotgun, the sniper rifle. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it feels different.
It feels very different. The pistol
does a lot of damage, but it doesn't feel the same.
The default controls for the Warthog are the triggers, which
crazy.
Yeah, which nobody in the history of 25 years of Halo has ever used the triggers.
Who has ever wanted that change from what it was?
Why would that be the default?
The default is just I've played that game so many times and driven a Warthog for muscle memory. Many hours.
Yeah.
When I was first Warthog, I want to drive it. I got in and immediately went, no. But it's great that they let you change it to like regular controls. Those should be the default. If you want to change it, then you can use triggers.
But it doesn't even
such a strange choice.
Like we're playing with Eric, and like you would think that they would put all the different control schemes in it because he plays with a very specific control scheme. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Oh, he plays with like Southpaw or something.
Yeah, something like that. That's not in there.
No, it's just Southpaw. I want to say Southpaw was like GoldenEye controls or something.
Or something like that. He has a very specific way that he plays it, which has been in every Halo game since the original.
I think there's Boxer too. Maybe
I think it's Boxer's the one that he plays.
Boxer's where it's flipped, I think, right?
I think it's flipped how you punch.
That was one of the best parts about original Halo was like because I've had buddies who play different too, and like know I play inverted. A lot of people don't, like because they're wrong, but that was one of the best parts. Was like everyone could kind of play their way. And this one, it really feels like they want you to play it the way modern shooters are supposed to be played. But the problem is modern shooters, a lot of them don't play well.
Yeah.
And it's not even like it's exactly like a game like Destiny. It's still not like Destiny's a fantastic. One of the best parts about Destiny is the way it controls, right? It feels incredible. Everything about that game feels right. This feels like a cheap copy of like a worse version of that.
Yeah. And I can agree with
it's
that.
a bummer. Like everything about the game just feels like a bummer. We can't explore.
It looks great.
Again, another thing how it's not designed for 4 people. You can't explore at all.
No, because if you go too far from like the cone,
checkpoint thing is
will teleport. Yeah, it will teleport the other people to wherever you are. So like we're playing Silent Cartographer and we're trying to look for a skull, and the skulls are in different places in this version. They're not in the original places that you remember. But we're just trying to find one, and it's like boom.
Yeah.
Made it impossible.
Go around this thing, teleported. I'm trying to climb this thing. Somebody went into a different area. I get teleported. I can't even tell who it's teleporting to half the time.
No, it's crazy.
You're the host, but it's not you.
It's whoever's moving forward in the mission is who it teleports to.
But it's insane to me that in 25 years later we can't let us roam around the map.
That is weird.
It's weird that for making this, if we're calling this a ground up remake, that they wouldn't fix something like that. It doesn't. I feel like it's the same thing they did with Oblivion, where they just took it and threw it in Unreal 5 and then worked from there. The difference is Oblivion, they just threw it in Unreal 5 and called it dead.
Stopped working. Yeah.
This, they did other things and tinkered with it, added 4-player co-op and stuff, but I don't think the stuff that they tinkered with is necessarily good. We also haven't even played these prequel missions. I've seen enough footage of it to see it doesn't look good.
Things about those.
Yeah, I've heard nothing good about them, but I'm like, at this point, let's just get through the regular game, and then I guess we'll all suffer collectively through those 3 missions.
That's crazy.
Well, we also talked about how like it definitely seems like enemy balancing is way off. Like it feels like there's a lot more hunters than I've ever seen before.
Yeah, well, they also changed that too with the hunters. So obviously with the hunters in the original Halo, you can just go around behind them, use the pistol, and kill them in one shot in the back. You cannot do that in this game.
No,
it's added like a little armor piece. It takes a couple shots.
Break those off, but
yeah.
I remember hunters in Halo 1 being like a big deal. Now they're just
you didn't see him now. Between the couple missions we played the other night, we saw probably like 10 to 12 hunters.
At least a dozen.
Way too many. Doesn't seem like that's correct.
Weird.
So it's just odd. It's a bummer. We'll get more into like what's going on with that studio when we go into the news, but not impressed with it right now. Like it made, like when I did a video on it like a week ago after our first playthrough, and I was like, it just feels weird. But the more that I play of it, the more disappointed I am in it. Yeah, and I'm not surprised.
It just feels like I'm having a good time playing it with you guys and like running through and just doing stupid shit. And like
I would not have fun playing through this by myself.
Run, it's fine, but I don't think I will ever play this by myself ever. Not a single.
It highlights once again like the smarter decision here would to have been just port MCC over
100%,
and do all this
200%. Because like now after playing this, I don't want a Halo 2 version of this. It's gonna suck.
Well, when we get to the news, I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore. To be fair, but like somebody put out the other day, and like it's true. Like right now, even if you buy it at full price, Halo MCC is less than this campaign.
Crazy as hell.
Damn.
And that has 6 games.
Version of this game with everything.
That includes Reach. That has ODST now.
Yeah,
so like that
stuff they added after. Wasn't that added like in the apology phase?
So the apology was ODST,
right?
And then to celebrate, like I think the history of Halo MCC is it came out, it was broken. They did some patches and then it stayed broken for like 3 years. And the only reason they went back to fix it was to port it to PC. When they did that, that's when they did the apology. They gave everybody ODST that owned the game already, and then they also rolled in Reach. So it became more of a collection of everything up to that point. Now it's a shining beacon of what the collection should have been when it came out. Right. But it took them like 5 years to get there. So, which has kind of been the case with everything 343 has done. So, yeah, it's a bummer. So we'll continue it. We'll keep playing it, but
we got to run through at least 2 more times too, which is the worst.
I know we do. The other thing that I've been playing, you've been playing this as well. I played through Control again to prepare for Control Resonant, which is out the end of next month. And when I got done with it, I made the decision. I'm like, I sat on it for like a week. I was like, do I want to rerun Alan Wake 2? Because I have played that more recent. Like Control, I haven't played since it came out. And I never played that Ultimate Edition. And the more I sat on it, the more I thought about it. Because I originally played it on the Xbox. I have not played it on PlayStation. And it now also has like a bunch of PS5 Pro support and stuff like that. So I ended up running through and platinuming it. And you are playing it as well.
I'm playing it for the first time. Yeah.
You were playing it for the first time.
Because I wanted to get it done before Control. Again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has to be played before. And then now having played it as much as I have, where you'd say I'm like 80% done, maybe more.
Like 85, I would say.
You have to play this before Control. I feel like
you do.
The games are incredibly intertwined. Like they all exist together. It's not like you're playing. It's not like there's Alan Wake and then Control and Alan Wake 2 and Control 2. It's like no, they're like a series of games, just told from like different sides of what's going on.
Well, and I never played through those DLCs after Control came out, and so then going back and playing those DLCs, I didn't realize how much the Alan Wake DLC that is tied into Control kind of sets up Alan Wake 2. In a very interesting way. So, but I was reminded just playing Alan Wake 2, like how much it is intertwined with Control, like a lot.
Well, they don't even like try to hide it. Like early on, when you're going through like in Cauldron Bay, like going down to like the lake and stuff, you pass that like station thing, which is a huge part of what's happening. And then obviously, like I'm at the point now we talked about where I'm heading to the movie theater next, but I've finished all of Saga stuff, and like that just like throws you full head on into the FBC stuff at the end of her game. Like it
does.
Yeah,
it does. Because and the best way to play it does give you the option to go back and forth between those characters if you want to, but it makes more sense to play through Saga. You get to a logical point.
Well, having gotten the couple reveals that I've got, so let me talk about the reveals I've gotten so far about like what's happened, because I have another one that I'm guessing is correct, but I don't want you to confirm it because I think it's you're gonna tell me in a minute. So my favorite part about this game is the playing through the two storylines, and like Saga Anderson is a phenomenal character. Like her whole story is great. The slow burn reveals of like who her grandfather is crazy as fuck, and then you're like, no way, and then they explain it, and you're like, okay, it totally fits and it works, and it's great.
Yeah.
And having the whole like Alan writing the story about her, so like did her daughter die here or not, and why she remembers that she didn't. They explain that. Like the game throws a lot of stuff at you, but it will explain everything in time if you give it time.
It does, 100%.
And the whole thing about like, because I thought about it too, where it's like, well, if I'm playing as Saga and we've rescued Alan, why do I keep seeing him while I'm going through these like boss fights? And how can I switch to his story if he's here? And then they reveal that it's not him. And you're like, oh, okay, that makes a shitload of sense, but it's like, if you're not paying attention, you won't see it. But I always thought it was strange.
I think I explained it best to you, and you haven't watched this, so it is very much Twin Peaks, the last season, like the most recent season, because the way they handle Alan Wake and I guess the other side of that, which is that Scratch character, is very much like the Cooper doppelganger stuff. Like, it's very identical to that. Like, you could like replaying it now after just having rewatched all of Twin Peaks, I see much more what they pulled from that show, and we're like, we can do this, we can do that. Again, it's not 100%. Like, they're not copying it, but there's so much of it that it's like, this is Twin Peaks, dude.
A lot. Like, Alan Wake and just like Remedy in general, they're inspired by a ton of stuff.
Yes, they are.
And they find a really good way to like meld it all together, which is crazy to me how well it works.
I think the part of it that's the most fun is seeing those things together. Seeing Control and Alan Wake, like Control. Alan Wake 2 is also like a sequel to Control, and they're so intertwined with each other that it'll be interesting what they do in Control Resident. Like I said, when it was like, I had a brief moment when Resident was announced and it was like, oh, you're going to play as your brother. That was kind of bummed because I'd rather play as that character again. But the more now that I've gone back and I've played Alan Wake 2 and stuff, like, I'm actually super more into the idea of playing as your brother.
Because they're not going to just sideline her. There'll be stuff that you have to do with her.
Oh, 100%.
A lot.
She'll still be in that game.
So I like that twist. And then now that I'm playing through Alan's stuff to kind of get towards the end game, obviously I did and we could talk about it for a minute. I did obviously like the talk show, like the musical number part, which is one of the most like incredibly well done sequences in any game that's ever existed. Because
it's crazy.
It's built in such, I told you, it's built in such a way where like if you go too slow, it's okay. If you go too fast, it's okay. The game compensates for what you choose to do while it's happening.
Yeah.
In terms of like the song, like it has videos of them like guiding you where to go. It has arrows on the floor, so you really can't get too lost. But it's all worked into the game so well. That level, especially having just done like the concert on the beach thing before that part's incredible too. Like it takes a survival thing and makes it a lot more fun and interesting. Because there's like a time limit, but you know what the time limit is if you're paying attention.
If you're paying attention to it.
It's just, they have such great set pieces in these games that it's just, everything is pulled off.
There'll be something in this new one.
Oh yeah, there's going to be some crap. Well, if you roll it back to Control, like the maze is such
they like topped that
somehow
in this game.
I think doing them back to back is like the best aspect of it.
Yeah.
I think here's my theory, and don't say if it's right or wrong, but like obviously with Alan, like you keep returning to the TV show over and over again, and as you keep finding your buddy, the sheriff who got blinked into the dark place every so often, and he's trying to figure out the mystery too, which is neat because it's another like yet another perspective of like what is happening, and like is he real? Is he not? Why did he disappear? But it's all revolving around your buddy Warland Dorr. I think don't say it, but I think I know who that is now.
Okay.
Because if you're paying attention to other things, and when he disappeared and all this other stuff, it really seems to fit what my theory is. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to see like a reaction. But
you're close enough to the end of the game that
I know who he is. I'm pretty sure, and I got it the last time after when they had that conversation where like finally Alan was like, are we still doing this kind of a thing? He finally like explained to him that he's not part of that place. He was also brought here. Kind of a thing. So I'm excited to see what the payoff is for that. Does it pay off? Who he is?
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, because I feel like it's something they could keep secret if they wanted to, but
kind of.
I have enough clues now where I'm pretty sure I know who he is.
What I would say is that this game is probably not going to be the last that you see of that character.
No, I don't think so. I think they're building him up to be something much deeper, and only if you're paying attention.
Yeah.
And like reading the notes on the dude's board, because they change and each time you see
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Doing the case board stuff is fun too.
Her stuff,
like getting the little clues and like putting them on the board and putting them in the right place and everything.
I like how his is similar, but it's different because you actually like change the world around you.
Yeah.
Which helps you find other things and play through the levels that you're in.
Yeah.
Alan's story is very much built on like you have a level.
Him being a writer.
Yeah. And hers is more like exploring and finding things. His is more getting from point A to point B and learning more about what's happening to him.
Being a detective is more what she's yeah. So
like that hotel level is crazy about like I love the idea behind what's happening in there, where it's like this like performance troupe is putting on a play about the cult, and then the cult infiltrates the play.
Yeah.
And like that's such a great idea for a story of its own, that it's just like, it's just one level in this game. That thing could be blown up into its whole own thing.
Own game if it wanted to, yeah.
It's just, God, it's so good.
I told you, it's a very well-written game. And
an incredible game. It's probably my favorite game I've played this year, by far. It looks amazing, even on,
and that's the thing. It did when I played it 3 years ago. And I think it runs a little bit better on a pro, but it looks great. It looks amazing still. And they do a really good job of mixing, like, the in-game graphics with all of the FMV stuff that is going on in that game.
Stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they put so much time and effort into, like, well, I mean, they've done it forever. You go back to Quantum Break.
They've done it forever, but they finally, I feel like with Control and more with this game, they finally found their footing and where it makes sense. Because, like, if you go back to something like Quantum Break, for example, they wanted that to be a game and then roll into this TV show thing that was separate, and that concept just didn't work.
Well, and the problem with that game was, depending on what you did, it'd be different. So, like, they had to shoot multiple versions of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, like, overlay stuff onto it. This is more like you get to a point where you have to watch a TV monitor, and then it turns into, like, a scene of something that happened. That stuff is great.
It is. It is an amazing game. So, I think wasn't my game of the... I think it was my game of the year that year it came out, so...
It's pretty close. And the thing I was thinking about it too, it's like I think I still like Control more, just because I think I like the idea of Control more, because it's more X-Files.
It made me start rewatching the X-Files.
This game is
I just replayed it. So.
Right behind it in terms of like how much I enjoy it, the quality, like the story, everything about it. It can be a little hard to follow, but
a little bit at times.
But when you read the stuff, it's right in front of you.
And I think, too, especially because right before Alan Wake 2 came out, I replayed through the original Alan Wake. And replaying through that, I had forgotten that original game had like an insane amount of platforming in a way that they just got away from all of that in this game.
Yeah,
this game doesn't really have any of that, which is a smart decision.
The first Alan Wake is very much a game from 15 years ago.
It is. Like, if you go back and replay, it's like, ooh, we've moved on from this.
There.
Yeah.
But they've learned a lot since then in terms
They've learned a lot from that. It's not, I'm not saying...
a lot more platforming, like jumping around.
Yeah, but that's how that game is made, though.
Right. This game is more grounded.
It is more grounded than that.
We were talking about, too, like, so some of the flaws with the game is, like, it desperately needs a fast travel system. Like,
yeah, because you basically have, like, 3 hub areas in the map. And the problem is with the hub areas, they're pretty large, and there is no way to travel from one end to the other unless you have to walk. And it's not like I can't just walk a straight line. You have to go through, like, if you're going in the forest area, you got to go through all these different paths.
Like,
you have to forget, this is blocked now. You know, it is a pain in the butt.
And I've got to go I have to take a super fucking long way around.
So, because that was the one thing that took me.
Rough.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to. I got most of the collectibles playing through it, and then I looked it up because I was like, I'm pretty close to just having this stuff. When can I go back and do this without like hitting a point of no return? And then I went back, but even doing that probably took me like another hour and a half, 2 hours, just because I had to travel around to get to something.
Is like the most egregious thing. We're like, you go out to that one and you do one there, and then you have to go to these other 2 places, and then when you're done, you have to go one more. Oh, sure, it's all the way in the
all the way back. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That one has a good payoff, though.
It does have a great payoff, but it's like, God, I gotta go. You should be able to travel between break rooms, right?
Yeah, that would have made more sense. That's what I think,
break room
too.
stationed around the map every so often.
Yeah.
You just be able to go travel between break rooms. That's something that annoyed me. And then the other thing that annoyed me, and I get it, but the screen, like, jump scare stuff.
Oh,
I get it, but, like, holy shit, dude. Especially the tour in the lake with the lady. It's every fucking doorway at one point where you go through where she screams. It's like, yeah, dude, I fucking get it. Okay?
To be fair, that part is probably the creepiest part of the entire game.
It is the water
she's
part.
Popping in and out of the water. Yeah. But, like, I
didn't know that was going to happen.
Overuse that.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but I kind of was like, I bet I can't stay in the water too long. And then as you start running across things, I start hearing it behind you. I'm like, oh shit, I can't stay in the water too long. But
that part is probably the creepiest part in that game.
That boss fight
very well done.
On me though. She got stuck on
you just
coming around the wall, and I just shotgunned her to death.
That's good.
But yeah,
did you overuse that?
The scream stuff it's fine in the beginning in like little bursts. But that level specifically, man, it's like, because it's a loop. It's a lot of the boss fights are like loop levels, which is a great idea. But it's just like at one point, you got to go down into the basement.
Well,
every fucking doorway. It's like,
and
I get it.
The overlap stuff, that's very much Twin Peaks. They're imitating the lodges from Twin Peaks, and so the loop stuff makes sense because that's kind of how Twin Peaks works, where it's like, oh, I walked through, now I'm here again. What's going on, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. And so that they very much are taking that element from it, but the jump scares, like, well, I'm so like calloused when it comes to jump scares, they don't bother me. But like when people a couple weeks ago, when everybody was freaking out about that other mommy trailer, for example, I just saw that and was like, oh cool, but it didn't bother me. So like in Alan Wake, it's like it doesn't bother me, but I will say like they do too much.
It got to a point where it didn't bother me because there was too many of them.
I'm just like, I'm annoyed because I'm like, God damn it.
It to happen. And by the time, if that happens where you're expecting it to happen too much, then it's happening.
It's too much. Yeah.
They could have backed off on it a little bit.
A little bit.
The game's phenomenal. I'll have it finished probably tomorrow or Sunday, but like...
Yeah, and I'll say like, so I played a little bit of the Night Springs DLC. It's okay.
Oh, explain how that... Is it not just... It seemed like it was just kind of a like survival mode.
No, so I have not played the Lake House, which is the other DLC, but the Night Springs is like 3 episodes of that show that is supposed to kind of be like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And each one has an introduction. Each one of them has an introduction by that Mr. Door guy, kind of trying to be like Rod Serling. The first one you play as the waitress from the diner, and it kind of explains her story in relation to Alan Wake. The second one, you actually play as Jesse from Control.
Okay.
And it is kind of like she got sucked into this looking for her brother, and you explore Coffee World, but it's like a different version of Coffee World. It's laid out differently. I have not played the 3rd episode yet because that's all I had time to do the other day. But they're fine. Like they're fine. I don't necessarily think that they add that much to the story of Alan Wake, but they're not bad. I haven't played the Lake House DLC yet. That might be the one that if it's a survival thing, maybe it's that one. I haven't looked at it yet. I just remember
seeing like the ad for the Night Springs DLC and thinking it looked like it was a survival mode, but maybe I just misinterpreted it.
I want to say the 3rd episode you play as the sheriff.
Okay. Yeah, because it feels like he's underused. Like
he is. Well, I mean, what's his name? Sean Ashmore.
Yeah, I mean, it's Sean Ashmore, which is great, of course. But like, he goes to pick up that book and just goes, "Oh no," and then he's gone. And I was I thought maybe he was dead or like we're in the story or something. And then like you're first going around like the dark place, and then
he's just whistling,
you hear him humming, and you're like, "What is this shit?" Open the door, he's like, "Oh hey, Alan, how's it going?" And you're like, "Oh boy,
I think I got this mapped out." Yeah.
Well, I like how for a long time a lot of people call him Tom, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. And then they explain it, and you're like, oh, okay, it makes sense.
Okay, it makes sense. So
party scene, I know you love the party scene. Him
love the
going up, doing drugs. It's crazy as fuck.
Great game.
And I love it.
It's made me more excited to play Control Resonant. So
yeah, I'm very excited.
Now that I'm done with it, and I'll probably finish up that DLC this week. I got to figure out what I'm gonna mess around with until Control Resonant. I've been thinking about maybe looking at one of these Dragon Quest games. I just don't know which one. It's the hard decision of do I open. I never did 3. I never did 1 and 2, and I never did 7 Reimagined either.
We're supposed to do 3 before 1 and 2.
I know that, so that's why I'm deciding between 3 or 7 Reimagined. I don't know yet. I feel like 3 is probably shorter than 7 Reimagined, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I would figure it probably is. So, but
I think it's still probably longer than you think. 1 and 2 are both short.
Okay,
you're supposed to play 3 first. So.
Okay, I did also get. Because it was on sale finally, and I don't think I'm going to open this right now or look at it, but because I've never played any of these, but I got that Mega Man Star Force collection.
Oh yeah.
I've never played any of those. So
I didn't either.
I feel like that's probably very in depth. So I also have Crosscode that I can go back to too, because I kind of sidelined that.
I don't think I mentioned that. I platinumed that. I finished.
Yeah,
that.
you platinumed that, and I think we discussed the last time that you were on, like. The ins and outs of it's a good game, but it does have issues.
Oh, it gets worse.
I'm sure it gets
the
worse.
Puzzle stuff gets so fucking worse towards the end. It's a great game. I love almost everything about it.
The music is phenomenal.
Music's great. How it plays for the most part is pretty good. The story is fun, and they explain later on what's actually going on. It's kind of a cop out, but at least it works.
Yeah.
I wish there was more to playing the game within the game, and I wish the puzzles were pulled back, because the final thing you have to do is puzzles and boss fights at the same time. Oof. And then there's new puzzles they have not explained to you yet that they introduce. You got to figure those out, and it's just holy shit, man! It dumps a lot on you, and then it has DLC, which doesn't have any trophies, so I'm not in any kind of huge rush to play it. And I read about it, and apparently it's I hope you like those puzzles.
Oh, I'll remove that from my wish list.
Yeah,
that's the case.
I'm out on the deal.
I think I'm out on that.
I would like to know because it's an epilogue story. I would like to know that, because the game, at the end of the game, it does give you a choice of you can either go back to the point before the final boss rush and continue to play, or you can do a new game plus. But I would like to play the epilogue, because it definitely leaves off at a what happens next kind of a thing in terms of your character in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't want to play these fucking puzzles anymore, man. Dude, I'm out.
No, I wouldn't either.
Too much platforming and shit at the same time. Timing. There's lots of timing puzzles, which are crazy. Ugh. Great game, though.
But that wraps up what I've been playing, so I'll kick it over to you for the other things that you've been playing, dude.
I got my Tokon today. I've played 40 minutes. I played a lot of that demo, though, and that demo was fucking rad. And the game is good, too. It's just everything about that game. The presentation of that game is incredible. It looks good.
Well, it's that Arc Systems.
Yeah, it looks good. Okay. The music is incredible. The only thing I'll say I'm not liking a lot is the voice acting is not. It's not bad. It's not right. Okay. I'm playing through the Spider-Man story, and so the team is Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Star-Lord, and Penny. And whoever is doing Miss Marvel doesn't understand emotion, I guess, because the way she reads the lines don't match what's happening. It's it'll have an exclamation point at the end of a line in the subtitles, and she just says it like it's a regular sentence. It's the tone is off. I think that's what it is. It's okay, but God, that game plays so well, and it moves well, and it's got tons of style and substance and stuff. I love that game, so I can't wait to play more of that. And then Water Park Simulator came out for console.
Yeah,
$10. I'm all right, I'll play it.
I bought it too, but I haven't tried it yet on there.
I assume it's almost exactly what you've played, because I
would assume
it's
so.
Fun. It's got problems, but it works for the most part. And it gets a little hectic, but it's a little buggy on console so far, to the point where they've had to go on Twitter twice and apologize twice.
Oh, really? I did see it got patched at some point.
Yeah, so there's a trophy. There's a trophy for spraying someone with a water gun. That just doesn't work. Doesn't pop.
Really? Okay.
And then one of the early like mission things is, like spread love with the water gun 10 times, which is like spray 10 people who are upset. That's not working. So
that doesn't work either.
I couldn't progress.
Okay.
Past that mission, which apparently that's one of the things they identified in patch. I haven't played it since.
I mean, from what I played of it on PC, and I know now the reason it came to PS5 is because it's in its like full release now.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had bugs and problems then as well. And I will say, like, even running it on PC, so I'll be interested how it runs on PS5. But on PC, like, the bigger you make that park, the more bogged down it's probably going to get because they bring in a lot more people and stuff.
I can already feel like that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
There's also been a problem where like I'll finish a day and then start the next day, and there's a ton of trash in the park that wasn't there. So I don't know where that came from. So it's got a lot of little pieces. Obviously, it's like I bought it day 2. I think it came out.
Yeah, and like honestly, like $10 is a good deal for that.
$10, so whatever. But it makes me upset that like out of all these simulator games that have come out over the past couple of years,
that's the one.
Why is this the first one? It's a supermarket game.
Well, Supermarket Simulator.
Where are
Supermarket Simulator? I saw. I think it's on Switch 2 and Switch now.
Where are
it might only be on Switch 2, but it is on Switch.
They put a blue version of it on Xbox, didn't they?
It is on Xbox because it's a part of Game Pass, but it is not on PlayStation for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
In the trading card game, where is it?
The trading card one, I feel like that one they're probably having a harder time.
Of the trading card game, but I don't have the real one. Where are these games? The amount of slop that gets like shoved onto the system, and we can't get the other simulators on here.
Yeah,
strange.
Exactly.
You're not allowed.
Yeah,
Water Park's not a bad game though.
It's not bad. It's fun, and it's got multiplayer, so you and I can fuck around in a.
Yeah, we need to try that because that was not in the PC version at the time that I played through it.
My park and help me do shit.
Probably. That's what I assume. That's how that works.
Around and do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the rest of these games? I want these games. Put the video store games on there. Both of them. Now, I'll buy them.
The one that I did, and I did everything in it, what was that? That wasn't Rewind 99, that was the other one.
Retro Rewind,
Retro Rewind. That one's great, and I'll go back to it when they put in the games. So, because that's supposed to come at some point.
And then, it's talking about stuff coming up. We're talking about that, there's like that one where it's a cleanup of a video store.
Yeah, that's how it. I think
on the 14th. I think
the 14th. I want to say.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to get that to fucking work on my Mac here. I'm sure I can boot camp it and get it to work because I feel
like you can. That one won't be a big problem for you.
It came out today on Steam. I just saw for you, Kyle.
What's that?
It's called Horny Waifu Kaiju Strike. Very positive. 62 reviews. It's got steamy fun.
Oh, it's for free.
Oh my god! Click on it and watch the video, Matt.
Sorry, I had to move it because I don't.
Yeah, you might want to move that off. Yeah,
my bad.
Damn, dude, that is wild. Oh my!
This is free.
Probably free to play.
It is free to play. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's free to play, dude.
All right. Matt's got he's jumping off.
I'm downloading it, guys.
That's why it has 62 positive reviews.
Developer, Naughty Girls.
Sounds about right.
Publisher is Passion Panda Publishing.
Well, Steam has that uncensored.
In the video, man. Just tell me.
Okay,
this is a game for you.
I don't think he wants to.
No, he does.
All right, I am, let's see, 27 seconds in.
33.
All right, 31, 32, 33. Oh, okay.
How long is this going to last on Steam, you think?
They're allowed to put adult games on Steam, so I don't think it'll go anywhere. You have to have
it enabled to be able to see it.
You have to tag those too.
It's still wild that it's a free game, though.
It's free, but like... And I know there's adult stuff on here, but like this is like
that's crazy.
That's probably not the worst thing that I've seen being sold on Steam.
Not, but if whatever the line is, this is very close to it.
Yeah. Well, I downloaded it, so I'll give you an update on it next week.
You can report back. There you go.
Yeah, I will. This is working. Oh, good join. Anyway, that's it for me.
What have you been playing, Matt?
I been playing some of the Hong Kong Massacre still.
Okay.
I downloaded a game about chopping trees.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I've heard of it.
You literally just chop trees, dude. Collect logs, upgrade your equipment, and just kind of do that. Me and my youngest have been playing that together. The music is really peaceful, so it's kind of helped like go through the game, and he really enjoys it. So it's literally a game about chopping trees, man. There is a game that did come out on Steam that I am going to try to grab. That's that Restory Chill Electronics game prepared that I did the demo back.
I've seen that one. Yeah.
I think it just came out today.
It's a Chilla game.
It is Restory Chill Electronics Repairs.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, I played the demo to it. I really liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. So I think I might go ahead and snag this one too, to be honest with you. And give you.
What's it at? What's the price point?
$16.19.
That's not bad.
Well, it's 10% off right now, so regularly $17.99, which still isn't a bad game. And it's got overwhelmingly positive reviews at 1,032 right now. So, yeah, I think I might go ahead and snag this one and kind of check it out. But the other game that I have been playing, I've actually dove a lot into it this week, is Pal World.
Okay, yeah, because they're in their 1.0 release.
I have that
as well.
wish listed on PlayStation. I'm waiting for the sale.
Yeah, so I played it before and I kind of stopped because I got onto a certain point and I was just like, I lost all my stuff and I just jumped off. But I've been playing more of it now, and it feels a lot cleaner than it was before. And I feel like a lot of they've updated a couple of the PALs from their previous version to now. It's a lot of fun, dude. It's really cool. Just the different environments that are in the game and what you can build and stuff like that, and the things you can do. It's interesting. I will definitely tell you that. So I've been diving.
Question for you about it.
What's up?
Is it multiplayer?
So yes,
multiplayer one coming.
So
it is what they are.
So you can play multiplayer on it. The only thing is the only way you can do multiplayer is if you actually build a server on the game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So right now that's how it goes. In order to play with your friends, you'd have to actually literally build a server for Pal World. And then everybody can join that and you can all play together that way. But as far as if you were online and I wanted to just jump into your game, can't happen.
So it's okay. So it's you have to set it up yourself.
Yeah.
I want to say I saw something that they're making a multiplayer one.
I was gonna say if they do, I think that'd be a blast because I joined one of my friend's servers. She's been playing a lot of it, and she's a streamer, and she was like, "Hey, can you if you decide to run Pal World, can you join my server?" So I was like, "Yeah, let me just give it a shot," because I didn't know what it was about. But it's essentially the same map, and you can just jump in and check out what your friends are doing when you play in that game. The only downfall is your character development doesn't carry over from each type of game you're in. So that sucks because in my campaign I'm in the level 30 right now, but when I join her server I'm level 3. So I have to rebuild everything back up, which really does suck in a way, but I mean, it's whatever. It's still an entertaining game to kind of play around with whenever you get free time.
Pal World is getting an MMO spin-off later this year, mobile only. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought I had seen.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having fun with it. It's at a decent price point, too. I think it's at $29.99. Yeah, it's not bad. So,
yeah, I put it on the wish list because that means it'll be $20 at some point. And
yeah, for sure.
Playing all this other crap.
Yeah. I think it's a blast, though. I'm glad that when I started my game back up, it put me in a different spot and allowed me to get all my stuff back. So that was actually really nice. But that's the only reason I've continued to keep playing it, because if I had jumped back in, I wouldn't get all my shit.
Start from the beginning.
I would have just started from the beginning and just been like, fuck this game. But yeah, that's it. I did download a new demo. There's this game called The Void. And
The Void? That's what it's called? Okay.
Yeah, I saw it earlier on Steam. Or maybe I I saw a video on it, and I went and looked at it at Steam, and the demo was available. But it's a survival horror first-person shooter.
Okay.
And it's inspired by the movie The Mist, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Okay.
Huh?
Stephen King.
Stephen King's The Mist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You need to watch
so
on that car.
I haven't checked it out. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
What's it? The Void?
The Void, yeah.
Let's see.
I found it.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, there's like 4 games named The Void.
Another title for things.
But yeah, it's definitely the one that's not out yet. So there's a demo for it.
Yeah, so
I can see.
I
see what
the
they're
demo
going for
to give it a shot because I thought it sounded interesting. Like the video I saw of it looked interesting.
You ever seen the movie The Mist?
Man, it might have been a long time. Like
you should rewatch that movie.
All right, I might have to go check it back out. I mean, it looks really interesting. I can definitely tell you that. There was another one that dropped. I saw a video on it, and I put it on my wish list. And I don't think there's a demo of it yet, but I'm going to check that out whenever it drops. It's the one called Elder Feast. I don't know if you heard anything about this one.
Sounds familiar.
So apparently in this one, it's a co-op action game, but what your essential job is to do, you're making a menu out of monsters.
Okay.
And so like after you kill the monsters, you can carve them up and cook them. And like different combinations of recipes give you different things. And I mean,
okay.
I think it sounded pretty interesting. Like it was a different take on that kind of thing. So I put it on my wish list, but I don't know. Like, there's nothing about it yet that's populated. So.
The one that I added that I'm going to check out, there's a demo for it, is a game called The Secret of Weepstone.
Okay.
And it is like you are playing it's basically like you're playing a first-person D&D game, but it's all in black and white and hand-drawn. It looks really cool. It's out. I don't think it's out till next year, but there is a demo you can play right now.
Yeah, I'm just checking it out now. It looks pretty interesting.
Cool as hell.
Yeah.
So,
well,
that was the one I discovered today where I was like, I should look at this later. So, because there was another one I played a couple weeks ago, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was like, think Elder Scrolls, but like with PS1 graphics. And the demo was really cool. So I look forward to that. I cannot remember what the name of it was. Like I said, I think it was whenever the Steam summer sale was going on. So it was a couple weeks ago that they dropped a demo for it and I played it. And it was, that game was pretty cool. So.
Okay. Well, I did download the demo of The Secret of Weepstone, and then I downloaded Horny Waifu Kaiju Strike, so I'll give you an update on the next 2 weeks, bro.
There you go.
Or Horny Kaiju.
Hell yeah.
The gameplay looks like crap, but whatever.
It does. It looks like shit. But
it's usually how those games work.
Oh, yeah. Though. I mean, it's AI-generated garbage, but...
Yeah. We can kick over to the news. There are things to talk about. There's things that have happened. More continuing bullshit. The first one I put, and I feel like I put this news article in here like right after we recorded the last time. This should come to no one's surprise because it's been in development for 7 years, but Fable is way over budget.
Weird. I mean, the game that we still don't quite know what it's like.
Well, and then it got pushed to February to obviously avoid GTA, like everybody's trying to avoid it, and now it comes out a day after the new God of War game.
Another mistake.
So what are they get? Like, at this point, it's like, what do? Do you delay this game again? Do you move it forward now, or do you just say fuck it and put the game out?
Is the game
what they're going to do.
Is the game even going to be done by then? Like, I don't believe it.
I also think it will be the last. I don't know. I'm on the fence now when it comes to Microsoft and the exclusivity thing, that if Gears doesn't do well, and I don't think it's going to do well, they crack and put it out.
And quick is Clockwork Revolution is going to do a lot worse than Gears does, whatever Gears does.
Yes. So,
I don't know. The Xbox seems to be doubling down on this stuff and really pulling everything back, which is going to not fucking work. It's not going to help anyone, is the problem.
The Gears, even though I own a Series X, even though I own a PC and I have the ability to play Gears, for whatever reason, like, that decision has made me lose interest in Gears. So I don't know, man.
Well, wouldn't the other part of the decision about losing interest in Gears just knowing that it's probably not going to be good?
I thought the last one was fine. It looks like more of the same.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem with Gears now.
It's just more of the same. I do think that they're making some good decisions in terms of the multiplayer. They're not going to have a battle pass this time around, and I think that stuff is cool. But again, like, I just don't think the audience is going to show up for it, because you're betting. That's the problem. You're betting on people that already have a Series X. You cannot be betting on people to go out and buy one, not at these prices.
If you think that Gears E-Day is going to sell someone an Xbox, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Who is that for? Those people already have one.
Yeah,
those people are so deep in the Microsoft ecosystem.
I have seen posts in the last month because of Sony and the disc stuff. I have seen those people that have been like, fuck it, and traded in a PS5 and gotten a Series X.
That's insane to me.
But I think I don't think that's a smart decision.
No, it's a huge backward step.
I think you're going from one platform that inherently is making a bad decision, but you're going to one that's made a dozen bad decisions in the last year
of bad decisions. But somehow, at this point, after doing all that, doesn't think they're in the wrong.
No, they don't.
They're losing their minds.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment.
We will.
EA, now EA obviously has been completely bought out by Saudi, but before that happened, after the Battlefield 6 developers had that massive layoff, the EA, the CEO, Andrew Wilson's bonus rose from $8 million to $38 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it only makes sense. He does a lot of work, dude.
Yeah, he's done so much.
All those rich CEOs, they do a lot of work, man.
And now that they've told the Saudis, all they're going to have to really do at this point is fire a shitload of people.
That'll be the next thing. I didn't put it in here because it's a rumor. It's not a confirmed thing, but there is a rumor that now that Saudi has bought that, they are looking to sell off BioWare.
I'd heard that too. I'd read that,
and
which
I feel like that could that might actually be the best thing for BioWare right now.
Yeah.
Would be to get away from being associated with EA. I think maybe they would make some better decisions going forward without having to be anchored by EA. And a lot of the bad decisions there. I mean, don't you remember the decade plus where they were forced to use Frostbite engine for everything, and that did not work well for.
Yeah. Even
for certain games
had to use it.
Yeah. I just think that BioWare would probably do a lot better being off on their own, but I don't know if they're a studio that would be able to do that right now.
I don't know what's left at BioWare for me to care about. We've talked about it before.
They'll never make another Dragon Age.
They have one shot left at relevancy, and it's to make a new, good Mass Effect game.
The keyword being good.
And if they fail at that, then there's nothing left.
There's nothing left, yeah.
It's all
they're not going to just swing back with something new at that point. So,
yeah. The moral of that story too is no buy EA games anymore. There's no point. What's left? Madden.
What is left? Madden.
I bought College Football 25. Didn't buy 26, and I won't buy 27. I'll buy 26 when I can find it at Walmart for $5.
That will happen.
Yeah, it will be. It's gotten close. It's down to 15. Still too much. I'll pay you $5.
Yeah, that's fair for
those are games I do not need to pay full price for anymore at all. So.
No. The backlash continues with Sony. It's probably our biggest thing. between the.
We're going to talk about this till we die, right?
We are going to talk about this. Well, the backlash continues because, like, they're never, as we've said before, and we've talked about this for countless weeks now, they're not going to back down from it. They've now doubled down on it with their latest earnings call. They are putting stickers on PlayStation 5s and the disc drives that warn you that they are discontinuing discs at the beginning of 2028.
Which is just further proof that they decided to do this a longer time ago.
This has been in the works for a long time.
A year, probably. Right?
Easily.
Yeah.
They didn't just print those stickers overnight and start putting those on.
Could they have done it? Sure, but they've had them ready to go for a while.
No, they did. And I think, and I said this last week, and I still think, like, well, it is a shit thing. And at the end of the day, I think it sucks that that's going to go away. I don't, even though I put it in here, like, there are heavy rumors again that Xbox is going to continue to support physical. I just don't see it. It makes no sense for them.
They stopped first. They stopped. We've talked about this. They stopped doing it first.
Unless they're doing something where they're still going to put a disc drive in the system for old games and for 4K Blu-ray movies and stuff like that. But I don't see them producing a Project Helix disc. I don't see that happening. When they've been stepping away from actually making discs for a couple years again now, I don't see them doing it. But I think the bigger thing is, well, everybody is so focused on the disc aspect of this. I think people need to be more focused on how fucking expensive these systems are now and be worried about the next generation where the system is going to cost you $1,200.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's more important to focus on this disc fiasco because that's not something anybody can change. Blacking out of using PlayStation Network for a week and not using it is not going to change Sony's decision.
That you think that all of these people think that their individual voice matters. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't matter to them. They do not care.
They don't care. Do you know what?
You just proved them wrong with GTA.
10 million digital pre-orders.
That's crazy.
Was that the number that they hit?
That's a number I've seen thrown around. Does it sound right to me? Maybe it sounds low to me. I don't even know anymore. Matt's going to look and see if he can find it. But like,
yeah, give me a second.
But whatever it's a number well into the millions of people who just paid. Most of them just paid $100 for this game.
5 months in advance
for a thing that you could buy the day of for the same price.
They will not. It's digital. They'll never run out of copies of it. Yeah.
It's not like you can preload the game today, which would make sense because then you won't have to all preload it at this time.
No, and I said, like, I will buy the game when I can preload it.
But you're all going to preload it at the same time. So if there's going to be a problem, that's when the problem is.
Exactly.
But it's not going to matter.
No.
Your individual voice, your protest of, I'm going to sign out of my PlayStation Plus for a week. They don't give a shit, dude. The only thing they would even potentially care about is you canceling PlayStation Plus. That's the only thing they would care about.
But it would have to be enough people to do it for it to make any kind of impact.
And it would have to be over a prolonged period of time. If you don't cancel it today and then mysteriously when GTA comes out, you'll sign up for it again, it means nothing. You know how many PlayStation Plus signups they're going to get that day that the multiplayer for that game goes live? Whatever that version of that is.
Oh, you're not going to be getting online that day.
Yeah, that game's, whatever that is, trash. But I still think that. I still think a multiplayer version of that is a year from release of that.
They're not even talking about it right now. They very clearly have said this is a single player experience.
Why would you? You have one that makes millions of dollars. Like why?
And that's why they're not in a rush.
No. They can take as much time as they want with that because it's really just going to be a location update with mechanics from the new game in it.
I think so.
And they'll leave the old one up because why would you take it down? All they'll say is like, we're not going to make content for that one anymore, but we'll leave it up.
I'll roll it into this because it kind of piggybacks off of the Sony stuff, but like, so there's two things that have happened as far as GTA goes. There was another big earnings call today with Rockstar, which I'm sure is probably where that number on the pre-orders is rolling off of. But the two things is one, the Rockstar's tone-deaf response to physical release, where they've equated it to physical releases like vinyl, and it's like vinyl records are actually a very lucrative business right now. I don't know why you would try to indicate that that's not.
Vinyl records are more popular now
than they ever
were.
Yeah.
But it's also because vinyl records have a specific kind of quality to them that actually matters.
It does.
Like,
as somebody who collects it does.
Like, they're a better format than like cassette
CDs.
Tapes
they're a better format than cassette tapes.
They have sound quality to them. Video games are install discs for a file.
That's the thing. And I'm so tired of the argument when it comes to the games today of like, well, I buy everything physical. It's like these games, when they're trying to make it sound like, oh, they just shut off a light switch today, and now all of a sudden we're not going to have any physical games anymore. It's like everything that has come out in the last 10 years, most of it has been an installation disc where there's nothing on there. The only
like a lot of those games will play. Right, a lot of them will, but they're not going to play the version of the game that is actually intended to be played.
No,
like they're not going to have bug fixes. They're not going to be any of that because the time windows on releasing stuff have changed so dramatically.
But they were doing that stuff back in the PS4 and Xbox One era. That's where that started.
The 360 started it. Remember,
I'll give a good example. Remember Dead Rising 3?
Yeah. Oh God,
the game was barely on that disc. You had to sit and wait for that download and installation forever.
I was back when the system took forever to download shit. Remember downloading stuff on the PS4 when it first came out?
Rough.
I'm sure we don't have anything to do today. People would always talk about that. Like, that's one of the things that Xbox had over that. It's like, I can download a file on Xbox in about a tenth of the time. Which is
So it just, I keep hearing that argument, and it's like, I don't find it that valid because most of this stuff is an installation disc. Most of these games have progressive patches throughout their life. Crimson Desert, which I still have on my PlayStation, and I won't delete it because I'm sick and I can't, updates 2 times a week now. Those people are still fucking updating that game.
Every time I turn my system on, it's like, oh, this game updated. This game updated.
That game is wildly different than it was when it launched.
Fuck, dude, I got an update for like an older game that's been installed on my system that's been out for like 6 years. It's like, oh, it's like, what? Updated to what?
Exactly.
But I think we're at a point with this where I don't understand why people don't understand that this is happening. And like we talked about the past couple times, you're lucky they gave you 18 months to figure it out. I decided what you want to do. They really did not. They could have said into this year. They just said, fuck it.
So unverified rumors are stating that pre-orders for GTA 6 have crossed 39 million units.
Okay, see, like that seems like too much, but
it does. But I get it.
I get it. Thought that it was sold that day for sure.
Yeah. To piggyback off of the GTA stuff, the other thing that they announced is this Netflix thing. How much do you know about that? It's just the dumbest thing.
I saw it. I read the title of it, and my brain shut off because it was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
So they're going to have a behind-the-scenes thing. I assume this will have attached a new trailer for the game. That's probably the big part of it. I think it's on August 27th. It is exclusive to Netflix for like 12 hours, if that. I think it's under 12 hours. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon on that day, and then it'll be on YouTube in the evening. So the window is already really, really short. I don't understand why you would lock this behind, of all things, Netflix. Makes no sense to me. So, and obviously, like, people are upset and put down about that, but it just seems like a stupid thing. But the more, like, as we inch closer to GTA 6, the more dumb shit that is coming out about just in general, their feelings about everything as far as the game industry, making the game digital only, doing this Netflix thing, everything. It just makes me have less and less hype for that game. I'm not really hyped on that game at all. It just seems like an obligation.
I just don't need... The game doesn't need any hype. It doesn't need... It hasn't needed anything since they showed the first Miami Vice trailer.
55-second trailer.
Done. Okay, fine. We all get it. You all know exactly what that game is. Like... It looks incredible. I want to play it because I want to see what it plays like. I want to be able to run around the city. But I talk about this with a guy I work with all the time too. It's like, but I'm also not interested in games that have open world maps that are bigger just for the sake of being even fucking bigger. Like, why don't we just make this even fucking bigger? No, I want density. I don't want area.
I want it to be more interesting.
I want to be able to go into a high-rise building and run around and look up and go upstairs and go into rooms. That's more interesting than check out these 96 square miles of desert you can drive around in. Oh shit! Wow. I really want to see what the game is. We already know it's going to be 10s from every fucking reviewer, except for the one who's going to think they're cool and give it a 6. But it's just
like that reminds me of like the Spiderman movie reviews, where it's like all pretty good, and then you have that one guy that's like
someone has to do it because they have to get the clicks. Because clicks are the article, clicks are the same.
Yep.
They're not.
Yeah.
It's not about reviewing a movie properly. It's
not at all.
And the same thing with this game. It's like, how many 10 out of 10 reviews are you going to bother to read? But will you read the one that's a 6? Yeah, people will.
People will. On the flip side of Sony, Microsoft has finally, obviously we've had the price hikes here in the US for a while, but they finally had the price hikes hit in the UK, raising the prices of their systems by more than a third of the cost that the system originally cost. Which again leads me to say, nobody is running out and buying a Series X now to play Gears in October.
Yeah.
Not at these prices. In the United States alone, a Series X, the disc version, now costs $800.
That's more than what the X cost at launch.
The Series X costs $500 at launch.
Yeah, but I'm saying, aren't S's more than what an X costs?
Yes. So if you want just the 512 gigabytes, so the regular Series S that came out, it is now $500. It is the cost of a Series X was 6 years ago. The 1 terabyte version, if you for whatever reason wanted to go that way, I don't think anybody should buy a Series S at this point. That is $600. They're also discontinuing the digital only 1 terabyte Series X system I saw, and they discontinued that 2 terabyte version too because it's too expensive. It's $1,000. So I just what a fucked generation we live in, where these things. This is 6-year-old hardware now that costs almost double what it cost 6 years ago.
We're officially reaching the end of video games.
We have to. We're going to have another crash like 1983. That's what's going to happen because nobody can afford it. That's literally what's going to happen is nobody is going to be able to afford this shit anymore, and everybody's just going to play old shit.
I don't
which is fine
about the PlayStation 6 being digital only. That's not the problem with the system. The problem is buying one is going to cost my mortgage for a while.
It's going to cost 1 month's mortgage. It's basically what it is, right?
It's nuts.
Insane.
For what? And the thing is too, the PlayStation 6 at launch, for what? What am I getting? I can't put a PS6 disc in there.
Yeah, you better have a stellar lineup.
What launch title am I getting?
I still maintain that while there would still be immense backlash, I think it would have softened the blow if they would have come out at the same time announcing that discs are going to end in 2028, that they will have some sort of program to be like disc to digital. And they might still do that.
Forward. There's a possibility because they got plenty of time to figure that out.
Yeah. But I think that would have lessened the blow a little bit, but it still was going to be immense backlash.
Yeah, it would have helped a lot because you could have made the argument where it's like, they're not going to make physical discs anymore, but at least my library I have doesn't go away. Not that it technically does, because at this point, everyone's just going to keep their PS5. But
because what would the other solution be right now? Would you put out a PS6? So you can either do one of two things, right? Like you could announce a disc to digital program, allowing you to take PS4, and it would have to be PS4 and PS5.
Right, it couldn't go far.
PS3, obviously, you can't do, but PS4 and PS5, it would have to be both of those because those will be backwards compatible with whatever's next. Or you would have to put out some sort of attachment for the PS6 to allow you to play those games, and they're not going to do that.
No, I
don't know.
That would have to be like a portable disk drive, which would have to plug in by like USB. the speeds on that would be unbearable.
Terrible. Yeah. Absolutely.
Although again,
terrible.
they're really just going to be an install disk, so you could plug that in and come back in like 3 hours, and maybe it would be. But
it works.
That's the only real option. The only goodwill way forward is to disk to digital program within the next year, so that you can upload things to your PlayStation account and just own them. How that works, though, I don't know, because it feels like if you're going to do a program like that, you would have had to have planned for that years ago. Because these discs would have to have some kind of way to be registered, right?
I think one thing that you could do is you could do something where you register the UPC on the back of the box or something. Yeah, because those are unique enough.
No, but a UPC is identical for each game. The problem is like each disc would have to have some kind of like ID in the disc, so that I couldn't just give you my entire library of games and you install them all. Yeah,
there would have to be a way where it identifies, okay, this person used this disc, it's locked to this account. Because otherwise, people are just going to pass shit around and everybody's going to have everything.
This was the plan for Microsoft 15 years ago.
Yeah.
This is what we were supposed to be doing.
It was.
That was their whole argument, and that's why Sony put out the little, like, handing the games to other people, because the whole point was you were going to put the disc in your system, it was going to read the disc, it was going to put it on your account, and then to play it, you just had to have the disc in the system. But they probably could have easily turned that off.
That video has come back to haunt Sony a lot lately.
It looks like a huge mistake now. But that could have easily been like a thing where like it registered it to your account and the disc was a check disc. That could have easily been turned off if that was the plan the whole time. Then eventually they would have been like, hey, good news, you don't have to do that anymore. But if you give that disc to your buddy and he puts it in, it's going to come up as already registered.
Yeah.
Because the other thing I don't think people understand about like PS6 or all this digital stuff is it means your console has to be online all the time. All the time.
I find that less of a
problem.
I understood it, 12, 13 years ago. I understood the argument, but we were already like halfway there at the time anyways. Now I feel like if you own a PS5 or a Series X and you don't have it online, they're basically worthless.
Reddit, people are like, can I install this and then take my system offline and play it? For what benefit? I don't understand. Like,
I understand that for people that are like in military service and stuff like that, but that's kind of it though. Like
people, those are the people who are playing games while they're on the clock at work, working remote at home. I can't be found. That's who needs to be able to play it offline.
Yeah,
but we're at a point now where all of the devices you own are online. Your fucking fridge is online, dude. Like you're either into that stuff or you're not. And if you're not, keep your PS5, keep your PS5 discs, keep your PS4, keep your PS4 discs. Don't buy a PS3 because prices are going out of fucking control.
They are out of control.
PS1's getting nuts. PS2's getting more.
Well, I sent you that message last night. Silent Hill, the original on PS1, is up to $300.
I think I have a second copy of that.
Do you really?
I think that's one of the few games I sold doubles of.
That's good.
But the thing is people are acting like this digital thing is affecting the PS3, the PS2, the PS1. Like, the PS3 is going off. The shop is finally going offline. I don't know if you've looked at the PS3 shop in the past 5 years. There's nothing on it. It's mostly empty anyway. So it's like whatever you wanted is probably already gone. So this shouldn't be affecting PS2, PS1, PS3 pricing. I don't understand that part. But
I think that's more of a reaction to them ending disc support.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah. That people are like, I got to get everything. Because I told you maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I was like, maybe I should start collecting some PS3 stuff. Because I have 2 physical PS3 games and a PS3. Because that generation, while I had a PS3, I did not use it for outside of a couple exclusives. And it was a great Blu-ray player. I played everything on the 360. So... Yeah, but I would like to own some of that stuff.
That was my
first nuts now.
First Blu-ray player.
Folklore is up to $200.
Folklore's gone nuts. That Puppeteer game has gone crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one I saw? Oh, one of those collection packs.
I think 3D Game Heroes is over $100 now.
Yeah, Game Heroes is expensive because for some reason that game
it's an Atlas game
is locked to that system.
Yeah, I don't know why they never.
You know how easy it would have been for them to be like remaster that and throw it on PS4.
Put it on PS4?
Store
Yeah.
Easily. That game's great.
It is a bummer that it's literally locked. It never came out on 360 or anywhere else.
I'm glad I bought that game when it came out.
Yeah. The game is cool.
Good.
And then the last thing in the Xbox land is apparently they're going to introduce a platinum trophy-like achievement later this year. So now we're just copying the trophy system, I guess. I wonder if they introduce something like that, if that will work retroactively with all of your achievements. I would assume it would have to. I don't think they would introduce something like that.
I don't know. The achievement system is a weird, broken mess of a thing on top of itself, you know, in ways where...
You know, I liked it until we got to the point where we had to start adding DLC achievements, because then the points got kind of weird, and then people got too funny with having odd-numbered achievement points, which I hated until a certain point. I just gave up on it.
The first, like, set of achievement games, like, some of them had 900. Like, there wasn't really, like, rules for how...
There wasn't a standard in the beginning, and then I think they kind of mandated, it has to be 1,000.
It has to be 1,000.
And they left it at that.
Each DLC can be 250, but then they started breaking their own rules, because Halo's, like, 2,200.
Well, then they also... The other thing I didn't like is, remember when the Xbox One launched, they started adding these, like, timed achievements, so you were only going to be able to get them at a certain time. Only a couple games had it, because they realized really fast it was bad.
Like, it didn't really work.
It didn't work
like
at all.
0-point achievements for like milestone things.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, it was just an odd. Like it kind of started to fall apart, and then for whatever reason, I just found trophies to be better. I think it's because of the platinum thing. Like even getting 1,000 on an Xbox game didn't really mean much anymore when the game had 1,250 or 1,500.
Yeah,
or 1,750, or however they wanted to fucking do it. At least with the platinum trophy, it's like that means you completed the base game, and then there's other stuff.
You know, if there's DLC, it's at least separated.
Right,
from
it's not part of the platinum for the most part.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I guess our final news article for the week. Halo campaign Evolved has done poorly, to the point that I think it's only like 1% of PlayStation users have played the game. So it is not like originally I said, this is going to be a great idea for them to port Halo over to PS5. And again, I still think that if it was MCC, it would have sold a lot better.
Easily. And I would have paid you full price for it.
They could have put that out at $70.
Would have been a $70 game to get all of it? Sure.
Yeah. To have all 6 of those games and everything. A good majority of that team has now been laid off 1 week later. Which then I saw somebody post like, gee, how do you think the people at the Coalition feel right now? Like, are they just going to be laid off a week after Gears?
When's that Clockwork Revolution studio close?
Oh, man.
A day after? 2 days after?
Here's here's my thing on Halo. Like, this studio... And I refuse to call them Halo Studios, because I think I told you, somebody put it best where they said them renaming themselves Halo Studios instead of 343 is just like they're going in witness protection because of how many times they've fucked up. And it's like, this is now the 5th time that they've tried to do something with Halo and they have fucked up. Like, they were able to do Combat Evolve Anniversary. That was the first thing that they did, and that was a good product. They did Halo 4. I liked Halo 4. It doesn't have issues, sure. Overall, it's a good game.
I liked it.
Halo MCC launched as a disaster. It took 5 years to get that to a point where now I can point to and say that's a great collection. It was not a great collection when it came out. It took forever. Halo 5 was a disaster game.
Not a good game.
Did not do well at all. Halo Infinite, again, if they would have stuck to their original plan with Halo Infinite and it would have launched with the Series X, and it would have had multiplayer and everything there day one, campaign, co-op, all of that stuff, would have been a much better product. But again, it took them a roadmap to get that game to where it needed to be. So and not to mention, like, they've done so many dumb decisions with the lore of Halo, making Cortana a bad guy, then going back on that. Yeah. To the point now where it's just like, the only thing that they can do, the only thing they can muster up is to just remake what already exists again. And they somehow found a way to fuck that up with Halo. So, like, I'm at the point that I think one of the rumors I saw was that they might turn Halo over to Activision Let Activision develop something with Halo. I'm more excited for that. At this point, I'd rather see somebody else do it.
Yeah.
I would like to see id do it. That's who I would like to see. It would be a lot to like id or Machine Game. After I get a third Wolfenstein game. I want that first.
Halo game? Whoa.
Yeah, like at this point, if you're Microsoft, I also think that they were shielded by Phil Spencer for this entire time, because you don't get to keep taking. This was their largest franchise of Xbox's history. It's the biggest thing.
Xbox exists.
It is why Xbox exists.
No, Halo 1 to a lesser degree and Halo 2 specifically are why Xbox exists.
Oh, for sure.
They built that as a brand.
The hype for
Halo 3 was insane.
The hype for Halo 2 was crazy. I think people forget that. But then 3 rode the success of 2 into being as successful as it was. Because 2 was so fucking good.
Even the hype for Reach was pretty strong as well. But I think also the hype for Reach was everybody knew that was going to be Bungie's last Halo game. So it's just, but if you trace it back to that and look at everything that's come past, you don't hand over a franchise that big to somebody and let them fuck up 5 times in a row.
Well, it's like you told me, you texted this, or maybe you said it to me when we were playing it. Like, it's clear. It's clearer now that Phil was just defending them and keeping them alive.
Has to be,
and it's the only explanation left.
It is the only explanation left because again, you don't. Like, look at it like I'm not a sports person, but look at it like a football team or something like that. You don't keep the same head coach after they have a disastrous season 5 seasons in a row, right?
Some teams do, but yes,
some teams do. Most of the time, no. Most of the time, a couple seasons, it's like, we probably should get rid of this person.
A good team would never let them stay. Yes.
Yeah. But like, this is 5 different examples that they have just done something to fuck it up. It hasn't sold as well as it's supposed to. This is not sold well at all, because the problem is anybody that's on Xbox that is only playing on Xbox probably has Game Pass. So they're not going to buy this game outright. They're going to play it there. The PlayStation audience clearly didn't show up for this game. I don't know if you saw the Steam numbers. It's under like
very bad.
I think the peak that it hit was like 35,000 people or something really low. It's very low.
But again, if I'm on Steam, this game is not for me. I can play it already. I can play the good version of it already.
I bought a couple weeks ago because my buddy, like, I don't have Game Pass anymore, which means I don't have Xbox Live. Same with my buddy. And he's been replaying Halo MCC recently because he has no interest in Halo Campaign Evolved. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it. It's like, man, it'd be cool to play co-op, but neither of us have Xbox Live and we don't want to pay for Game Pass. So the last time that it was on sale on Steam, I bought the Master Chief Collection there for like $10, which that's an incredible deal. Like, if it ever goes on sale that cheap again, buy it at $10. That is an incredible value. So at some point he'll pick it up there, and that's, I guess, where we'll continue having annual replays of Halo, because I'm not going to pay for Xbox Live to do that. But
not at all.
It is crazy that a product already exists that has done this much better and has all of that content in it. I can buy that, and it is cheaper. Right now. And you can buy it right now for $40.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And it's better.
And it's better, and it has 6 games. And a bunch of DLC and all of the multiplayer for each one.
Yes, like it's the complete version of 6 games.
I couldn't imagine that would be all I would be doing right now if they would have ported this over to PS5. That would be the only thing I'd be playing right now.
I think it would have sold so much more.
It would have lit up those servers for online multiplayer.
Imagine if they had ported this and not that it's good, but put the 4-player multiplayer in the like 1 and 2 somehow, where they're just like, fuck it, and they made it work, and we could just play all of them in a row.
Yeah,
be great.
That would be cool.
Nah,
because even I think Reach had 4-player co-op as well. Yeah, right? It was 3 Reach.
That was kind of the point 4. Of Reach, I think, wasn't it? It was like you were.
I think 3 started it. ODST had it as well.
Or I thought, did it have 4?
Which one?
ODST? I thought
ODST had 4-player co-op.
Oh, it did. Yeah, that introduced Firefight too.
That introduced that Firefight mode, and then remember the Halo 5 has it, but remember it didn't have split screen because everybody's HUD was different per what character you were playing as.
Different. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Halo Infinite has online co-op, but it does not have split screen.
But it didn't have it at the start.
They had to cancel that. No, it did not. It was a single player only campaign. So I will still maintain like Halo Infinite's like exploration of the Halo ring that you're on in that game is really good. Reminds me of like original Halo in a really good way. It's just unfortunate like the story of it is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's tied to a multiplayer. And that's the other problem. Like they have shown time and time again as a studio that they'll put out roadmaps and they can't even stick to their own roadmaps or improve things. Like Halo Infinite, like
Microsoft.
Taking Halo Infinite and making that multiplayer a free to play thing. Remember, that was a big deal with that game. They did not understand the concept of making something free to play. And that's what killed the multiplayer for that game because they went months without updating. Like, you make something free to play, you're going to give the game a battle pass. They would go months without updating that battle pass for people. And that killed the multiplayer for that game. So I look at it and I go, I'm more interested now after these layoffs, what they do with Halo next. If they really are going to give it to a different studio, I'd like to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Well, we're not getting Halo 2 campaign. Evolution.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it's done.
I really don't think that we're going to get it because this is a disaster for them. And I don't think that they're going to come out and straight up say that it was a disaster, but the numbers that we have alone right now, 1% of PlayStation owners showed up. That is insane. I really thought it'd be higher. I thought maybe, I don't know what percentage it would be, but I thought it would have been higher because it is a weird thing, right? Where it's like, oh, it's Halo on PS5. That's kind of cool, but it also will be the last one on PS5 because I don't see Microsoft doing this again. So, that kicks our news. What do you? I'll go game recommendation. I'm gonna go Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, and I was gonna say
if I stole that from you, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Control just because. If by some reason, like I should have played Alan Wake 2 long before I did. I don't know. I was waiting. The reason I waited is because I
waited for the physical
copy. So that took a year. And then just kind of sit there because I was playing something else. But I figured if Control was coming, I wanted to play that. But then it just makes me realize, like, God, I fucking loved your first Control game so damn much. So if by some reason you haven't played either one of those games, you need to play both, and you need to play Control and then play Control 2. You can skip Alan Wake 1. I don't think you don't have to go that far back if you don't want to.
There is a weird bundle on Steam right now where you can get Control Ultimate bundled with the 2017 Prey game for $9.
It's a strange.
And it is Control Ultimate and like whatever the ultimate version of Prey is from 2017.
It's a weird
Which is weird because Prey is a Bethesda game and it's part of that Bethesda sale that's going on for the 40th anniversary this week. But I saw that today. I was like, what a weird combination, but Control alone is worth $9.
Oh,
so
yeah.
And Prey is a pretty cool game as well.
That version of Prey, yes.
It's really cool. It's not at all related to the 2006 Prey game, which I also think is a really good game, but definitely worth checking out as well. So that's a hot Steam tip of the week if you haven't played either of those. Like $9 for both of those is a steal. So what about you, Matt?
I said play a game about chopping trees, man. I've been really in it this week, and maybe it's just because I've been like my brain has been doing a lot more working overtime this week, and so I just had to have something to just kind of chill me out. And this game has been super chill. I think I'm on like the third or fourth level because like the levels are pretty, like when it comes to the amount of trees you have to chop down, or they're a lot. So it does take a lot of time. But I mean, there are things you can do about it. But it's fun. I've had a great time with it, and I mean, it's at $8 right now. Like it's $7.99. It's not a crazy price point. So I mean, yeah, have fun with it.
Well, we can kick over to the movie stuff. Dan, you and I have seen have you seen it too, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. We've all seen Spider-Man. Everybody in the world has at this point has seen Spider-Man Brand New Day. I feel like it'll be spoilerish. I don't really care because that movie made $1 billion. Like,
Yeah.
I would be shocked to hear somebody who hasn't seen it that wanted to see it at this point.
Yeah.
Given how much money it made that fast, I'm also not surprised. Like, as much as I'm a Batman fan, a very biased Batman fan, like I can easily admit, like, Spider-Man is the most popular comic book character in the world right now.
Oh yeah.
Like, hands down.
He has been for a while.
By far.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's not even close.
And when they were doing those early projections of like, oh, it's going to make 800 million worldwide this weekend, I was like, there's no fucking way that's going to happen. And the fact that it blew past that, well, the Odyssey is making a bunch of money and out in the theater at the same time is crazy.
Yeah.
So, it's been a good, and I will say overall, like, it's been a good year for movies. Like, they're really I feel like they're really on the upswing. With, like, not only putting out movies that are being successful, movies that are actually good and
Movies
worth
that people
going to
want
see.
to go see in the theater.
Want to go see, yeah, right? I really liked Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
I thought it was very good. It's not perfect, and there's problems, but it's very good. I think I would give it like probably like an 8. I think is what I landed on at the end.
Do you think at this point? And this will be the biggest spoiler, but everybody in the fucking world knows it now.
You can't not know anymore.
Do you think it was wise of them to play coy and hold it back that is Sadie Sink playing Jean Grey?
I don't
as much as they
understand why. It wasn't a well kept secret. It, like, as much as I didn't want it to happen, it was the only thing that was gonna happen. To the point where when it happened in the movie, I groaned to myself and went, "Okay, fine." I think I just kind of like they do what they can with it and make it okay. It's not a great interpretation of her, like it anyway, but it's different, and maybe that's what we're trying to go for.
I mean, they're clearly trying to do everything differently by introducing a new they're clearly going to be introducing a new X-Men team, and I don't know if that's going to be during Secret Wars.
They've been casting all these people, and the reason I didn't like it the most was the timing feels off, because
it feels a little weird.
They're confirmed in Doomsday, like the original Fox X-Men are confirmed in Doomsday, so why introduce a new version of one? Well,
other than you're passing the torch, I guess.
Right, but also like Jean Grey's not in Doomsday, like the original one. Like Famke Janssen's not there. So what are we? Is that why? Is she not there because of this? I don't get it. It is what it is, and like we talked about at the end, like, you know, she gets on that bus to leave. And I told you, and you're like, I think you were like, where's she going? I said, she's going to upstate New York and she's going to the mansion. Like, that's what's
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because
I just didn't think about it that much at the time.
It's just the only thing that made sense, because there's a lot of stuff at the end of the movie where they're just kind of like, the things are happening and we're moving on. Like him and Ned and her sitting on the rooftop trying to think about, you know, holding the necklace and stuff. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know if I necessarily would have thought there'd be a Spider-Man 5, like its own. I felt like they probably could have done it, but this sets it up like there kind of has to be.
Yeah,
I feel like there.
It really feels like we need to end it.
At this point, what I think will end up happening is that I think there will be a Spider-Man 5, but I think they will introduce like Miles Morales and try to pass the torch that way.
I would hope that's the plan.
Because I think at this point, Tom Holland, like, as much as he loves playing Spider-Man, I do think I get the sense that he does want to be done at a certain point. So, and I mean, unfortunately, well, I do like the fact that, like, unlike the other Spider-Mans, like, we started him, he was a kid. But he's not a kid anymore.
30 years old.
The other ones, it's like we're watching a 30-year-old man pretend to be a teenager. But here he really was a kid when this started. But like now he's a grown fucking man. So
well, and I like that they did that in this movie where they were like, we're not going to pretend that it takes place at where the last one left off. It's 5 years later. So they've graduated MIT at this point. So we're not pretending like we're all still 21.
I thought they did a cool thing at the beginning when they were showing the Marvel logo, trying to remind you of what happened in the last week. I thought that was cool, like a quick way to do that.
Let's talk about the fact that there are in the commercials and the trailer, and I've seen merch, like posters for it, where they advertise like Boomerang and Tarantula, who are for as long as you saw them in the trailers. They're in it for 5 seconds.
Tombstone,
wasted. Like, to the Tombstone thing is just, like, I get it's fun to have a montage where like he takes down other people, but we don't even get to see him fight Boomerang or Tarantula.
No,
it's like 3 seconds.
I like
talk.
I like seeing my buddy as Scorpion. I don't like the fact that he didn't have a helmet or mask.
Where's the mask?
It was really weird. Like every scene, because obviously when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, it's a shot of the movie where he doesn't have his mask on. There's never a mask. He's just walking around with his full Scorpion suit, no mask. Really weird.
Didn't mind that they didn't explain the suit at all. That was fine.
No,
that's
fine. I didn't need it. Yeah,
you don't need it. Maybe there's a cut where they show that, but I needed a mask at least for the second fight. Like when she's controlling, like at least that part, I needed a
something, right? Yeah, and they didn't really have anything. No. The other thing I liked about this one in comparison to the other ones, this was a completely different. I think it was the same director for those first 3 movies. This was a completely different director. This felt more like a film, like a movie that was shot on location. Those other movies, especially the last one, and there's a reason why, obviously, all the multiverse stuff, but those all really felt more like they were in front of green screens. This actually felt like you were in
going to places and doing things.
Yeah, it really more felt like that, and it reminded me of like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans more than
like
the other ones.
There was a good mix of like him not being in the suit, him being in the suit.
Yeah.
Him being in the suit when he's just hanging out with them and doing stuff because he doesn't want Ned to know. Like, that was fun too. Like, I think this movie does a lot more lot with their like the 3 of their dynamic together, even though that
it does.
He doesn't know who he is. I think it still works a lot better. I've always kind of thought that like Zendaya was not very good in the first 3 movies.
I think she was good in this one.
Whether that's her fault or the character's fault, because the character was always kind of like a weirdo, kind of like bitchy little like teenage girl.
Nerdy version of MJ.
I don't know what her personality is supposed to be. At least in this one, she seems to actually have a personality.
Yes,
and it was very good. And her acting was very like. I liked this MJ a hell of a lot more than I've liked MJ in the past.
I feel like they wrote her better.
She feels like a different person, which is better.
Yeah.
And like Ned is great as always. Like he just fits as like the
he fits as his buddy.
Cool
like really well.
Like they're perfect together. Like I really like that dynamic more, and that's why like if we get a 5, I'd like to see more of that as part of it. But like.
What about Frank Castle?
He was fucking great in this movie, dude. Like,
see, that was the thing. Like, my wife was a little put down because I told her, and she started to try and say that he was more watered down, and I told her, I'm like, I don't really think he was watered down at all. He just couldn't say fuck in the movie, but that's PG-13.
He couldn't be like that.
He cursed a lot in it, to be fair.
Yeah, he did as much as he could, and
I thought he was great in it, and I explained to her like after we watched the movie, like at this juncture with what he's going through mentally, it made perfect sense for them to pair him up with the Punisher, because there's that one great scene where he basically is like looking at the photos of his family in there, and then they have that conversation where he's like, if I had another day where I could see my family again, I would do it in a heartbeat. You need to go talk to them, kind of a thing. And that made perfect sense, and that's where I finally had the understanding of like, now I understand why they picked him to be kind of the person in this movie.
He fits to be like he's gone through each of these movies with like a mentor character kind of.
Yes.
And they're all for like different parts of his life. Like Tony's training him to be a superhero. Nick Fury is training, even though it wasn't Nick Fury by the end of it, but Fury's training him to be like the better version of himself and realize what responsibility for the world is when you have these powers.
And then, Doctor Strange had to be there because of the multiverse.
Well, Doctor Strange is there to kind of do that, but his mentors in that movie are the other Spider-Man characters.
Yes.
Yeah. At the end of that movie, when they teach him, like, this is the kind of shit, we went through the same shit, man, but, like, we pulled it together because there's other, to have Frank be, like, that newer, like, yeah, your life is shit. Like that's basically what his job was. Is like, your life is shit. I get it, man. My life is total shit too. But that's why you have to treasure the stuff that you have, and like why you should tell her and why you should tell him, and just like fuck it, who cares?
Well, I think now I've said for a long time. I think now finally, between how he's been portrayed in this newer Daredevil stuff, I think that guy has eclipsed Tom Jane for me as being the best
easily.
Punisher. He
like by
clearly has nailed the role, understands the character fully, and really has a blast playing the character.
It's even
and has a
better
passion for it.
when you know that like him and Tom Holland are like fucking best friends in real life. And they just
because they filmed this back to back with the Odyssey, because they're both in that
they're
too.
Just like two guys that just like fuck around and hang out. Like that's what they're in real life. So it makes the dynamic of the movie a lot better. And like you kind of get the sense of Frank is like maybe he's like a son to him kind of a thing. Whereas Daredevil's more of like an adversary kind of a thing. Yeah, I thought that relationship was very good. I thought it was very good to finally see the Hulk again.
Yeah.
Like, because the last like couple of times we've run into the Hulk, it's always been the weird mix of the two of them together. This one, it was. I love the part where he fucking hulked out and got huge, and Peter was like, "I didn't know you could get that big." And then we got an actual like Hulk fight where he's doing the clap. He's like breaking shit. He's just going nuts inside this building. So it was nice to see that again.
Yeah, and like as someone who's not a big Hulk fan, it was nice to see him handled much better here than he has been in the last couple of things that I've seen him in.
And it's good because that's going to set up for whatever his role is in Doomsday or Secret Wars.
It sounds like he's probably a bigger part of Secret Wars.
I think so too.
I think so. I don't think he's really going to be in much of Doomsday.
Maybe Secret Wars is where he finally is just like, fuck it, I'm going to Hulk out. And he goes crazy. Because we haven't seen that Hulk since Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been that
just
long.
Nuts. Because that was the Hulkbuster fight, which was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool to see him finally like be the Hulk again. That's why like, the movie had a lot of little like good points and stuff like that. I do think that by the time we get to the third act after the gene reveal, it's too long. It really just kind of.
This movie does the same thing. This movie does the same exact thing that 2022 Batman movie does, where like there is a ending. And then for whatever reason, we decide to continue it for another, like, in the case of that movie, it's another 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's not.
This one, it's like a half hour. But there is a point where it's like, if you ended it here, it would be fine. But they continue with it. And in this movie, they have to because like Jean Grey isn't necessarily a bad person.
Right.
So
the third act is unlocking your powers and finally getting the answers and all that stuff. But it really just feels like it keeps going.
It's also like there are parts of the movie you have to laugh at because it gets into comic book logic territory, but like it is so painfully obvious when he goes and visits those people that run that. What was the name of it? Control something Damage.
That's the thing that's existed since.
I know. I knew. I just the minute he walks in there with the guy, it's like, yeah, this dude's not being shady at all. This doesn't seem like he's totally obviously the bad guy of this movie at all.
Right.
It's one of them.
A little bit earlier because like when I was watching it, and if you've watched the Daredevil show, for him to be like, oh, the hand work for us now. Is something red flag? Like what?
I had the same reaction in the movie when they just kind of walked by it. Yeah, and I'm like, they just work for this guy.
These kid ninjas.
If it wasn't already painfully obvious that this dude's the bad dude of this movie, that just really throws it in your face when that happens.
The hell out of me. I was like, you want to know comic book logic? That goes against comic book logic.
Yeah,
that would never work.
No.
I will say I was a little disappointed in no Daredevil in the prison scene against the hand fight. Just because
I really wanted it.
Born Again Season 2 really sets it up that he's there. Because like that's the end of that show is he's in jail. So I was like, that could have been cool where he looked over and he just like pulled the door off and Daredevil's
They fought for a little bit together.
That could have been fun.
Especially because this movie is a street level, like Daredevil, like Punisher, which is another reason why I think I liked it so much.
New York City threat. It's not a world threat. It's not but it's not a multiverse threat. It's not everything. It's not worldwide.
Well, it's like Yelena tells you, man. It's small potatoes,
dude.
Small potatoes.
How much would you pay to drink that water, Kyle? $50?
I've seen so many good memes from that scene. It's so absurd.
Off 200-foot cliff.
It is absurd.
She was a fun cameo that makes sense because she would just
makes perfect sense
doing stuff like that.
Well, also now there's a connection there for what's coming,
right?
You know. So
two other things I wanted to get to is number one was for a thing about him becoming more spider-like. They really didn't go anywhere with that at all.
And I explained to her after
cocoon, and nothing happens.
I explained to her after because she was like, "Well, it would have been cool if he grew other arms and stuff." I'm like, "The cartoon in the '90s did all of that."
The comic,
and I told him like they could have done that in this movie in a way that would have been too much for kids.
We saw it. I thought he should have woken up in the cocoon with the arms. And then I had to figure out how to get back up into his apartment without anybody seeing that shit and then figuring it out.
I know why they didn't do that.
But it doesn't go anywhere. They do it to give him more web shooters, which he barely uses, and his eyes turn black sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't and then obviously the whole thing is so he could build the chip so he could stick it on her neck. But that doesn't go far enough into what I was hoping they were gonna do if they're gonna do becoming more spider. It's not enough. And then what was the other thing? There was one other thing that I was like, I can't remember.
I liked how it ended, and it gave it a really good scene at the end of that movie. Yeah. Obviously, and again, I mean, the whole thing we're spoiling anyways, but the very end of that movie when Frank shoots, to try and shoot Jean Grey, and obviously he steps in, gets the bullet. The sequence of him coming out of the hospital,
very good,
and getting to see everybody how amped up they are, for Spider-Man. Everything is a really cool moment that kind of harkens back to Spider-Man 2 where he's on the train and stuff. I thought that was really well done.
He can't. He should be Spider-Man. He can be Spider-Man. He should.
Yeah.
He's starting to get it. I'm really. I get why they didn't, but I'm we couldn't have shown a Ben Grave next to May. We don't have to talk about it. He exists.
He doesn't exist. Have they ever mentioned him in any of these? I don't think they did.
Never talked about it.
She never did.
You could have put a thing in there, right? And just say he died in 2000, whatever year he would have got his powers, and we could have just moved on from that. And then, all right, and then let's talk end credit scene, because in the moment, I understand.
You had the same. Reaction in your theater as I did in mine.
The people in the theater who are just here to see a fun Spider-Man movie and don't know what it means are losing their minds.
Uh-huh.
I heard one lady go, "Oh, it must be a space Spider-Man."
That's exactly what happened in mine.
What the fuck are you talking space Spider-Man? And then you go online and it was "Oh, it must be Toby's Spider-Man. It's picking him up." No, because what happened is it's him going to Battle World for Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Everybody acts like he gets on a rocket ship and he flies to Battle World. No, dude, the Beyonder just goes, "Hey, you're here." Yeah. So it would have immediately just felt I can't find him anymore. Oh, I found him in space because he's on a different goddamn planet for Secret Wars. That's the whole point. We all know that the movie is coming. Oh, he must be on the Fantastic Four ship. That's what some people are saying. The fuck are you talking about?
Why would he be? Yeah,
we showed it at the end of the Thunderbolts that the Fantastic Four are already here. Also, they're in Doomsday. We've seen the Thing shake hands with the dude from Black Panther already.
Yes.
That's not where he is. He's on Battle World, which, granted, if you don't know what Secret Wars is, Battle World is really... The plot behind it is really fucking crazy if you don't know what it is. But it's basically the Beyonder grabs a whole bunch of superheroes and supervillains and tells them to fight each other. And he just transfers them to his planet. But I'm excited for that because I really feel like we're going to get the black suit.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what Spider-Man 5 can be.
Yes.
Is what if Spider-Man 5 is, and we're talking about transitioning to somebody else. What if it is transitioning to Venom, but like anti-hero Venom, and their version of it, and then they can go on from there? Because that's still years away. It doesn't have to be Miles right away. It could be Black Suit.
They want to, but I'll tell you, they want to do a Miles Morales Spider-Man movie, live action, really bad.
Oh, absolutely. Spider-Verse first, otherwise it's just going to get fucked up.
That's next summer, isn't it?
Sure.
I need to watch the last one.
Why not? The last one's very good.
I own it on 4K. I want it at some point. I've seen the first one. It's really good.
Those movies are masterpieces of animation. Like, it's
so good.
So good.
Yeah.
But anyway, Spider-Man overall, it's like an 8 out of 10. I had some problems with it. I don't think it's as good as... I think it's probably my third favorite. I still like the Mysterio one the most. I know mostly.
That's still probably my favorit one. This would probably be my second. So
this is 2 or 3. It's tied with No Way Home. It's like right there.
Yeah, this one was good. I feel the same way. I felt like it was a little too long, and I don't know. Like the story itself didn't really stick with me on this one, but I still enjoyed it. Like I didn't have a bad time.
Would have gotten more out of the way of them remembering him in this movie and not make it the next like 2 movies worth of this stuff. Like at the end, it definitely seems like Ned. You asked me this too, Kyle, but like it really feels like Ned remembers him from before. The way he said it and the handshake and stuff, it makes me feel like he remembers him now, which is good, but. It would be weird for him to be the first person to remember and not MJ. Shouldn't that be the whole point? Also, how uncomfortable were you with the Jean Grey MJ kiss compared to Wonder Woman 84? Kind of the same? Maybe the same?
Kind of the same thing.
Somebody else's body to make out? I don't know.
Kind of the same thing. I mean... I guess one could make the argument here that it is still someone that he was with before. Whereas
imaginary person.
In Wonder Woman, like it is literally another dude that had a fucking family.
Follow-up question. Was Jean Grey French kissing the air in the back of that car? And the guy
don't know.
Do it?
I don't know.
It's just a little bit like I get it, and it's a good like gotcha moment, but it was weird.
Yeah.
I think that actress was good as Jean Grey, though.
Oh, yeah.
That Sadie Sink.
She's great.
I think she's good casting.
She was phenomenal for that, and like, because she really played the like, I'm evil, but I'm good. I'm pissed off, but I'm also real sad. Like all of it at the same time, and it was. Yeah. She was very good. She's not the problem I have with them using that character. The problem I have with them using that character is it feels lazy.
A little bit,
especially because it's like we don't know who she is. Oh yeah, I googled her by the way. It's Jean Grey. Like what?
Well, I mean that also. I go back to that scene of him going and meeting that guy, like the clearly obvious, bad guy of the movie. Like, oh, this all seems like it's on the up and up.
Yeah, what's in there? VMAX? Okay,
okay, like, sure.
Small potatoes, man.
Could have probably had a Spider Sense moment at that moment where he's like,
that seems a little weird. Okay.
What were they guarding in there? Was it just like the serum thing to knock people out?
I don't know because I don't think they ever explained what was
in there later, and it's just like a yellow room with some boxes in it, and they had the thing that knocked her out. That's what they were.
Yeah,
recording.
I don't.
That seems like that seems like you should have it on handy in the building.
like on you at all times. If you have that much security and you're expecting her to show up,
and you know what she can do, so it's not like look what she did. She got the Hulk to fucking rip your building apart. It's just like the whole thing was just strange. It's like that's what you're guarding. I don't know. Also, why was the experimental room for her in the prison, like just like on the second floor behind these bars? When you're showing him looking at the room, like, what is in that room? And then it's like, that's where she was? Why is this here? Is this where this needs to be? Why would this be like, I have to go in here, up, and around, and go through the gate? That could just be a normal office thing off to the side.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
So strange.
A little weird. The other movies that I've watched this week, and you've watched this as well, Matt, the other big one would be Evil Dead Burn, which man, like at times rough. It's probably my least favorite Evil Dead movie, but a lot of it is very good. It makes one cardinal sin, which is like 90% of that movie is practical effects and done very well. Like there's some like the fishhook thing we talked about in the beginning is like pretty raunchy. There's a lot of raunchy gore in that movie in a very good way. But for whatever reason, at the end of this movie, they decide to use some of the worst CG I've seen in a movie this year.
So bad.
And like it starts to like there's one scene where the Deadites are running across a roof like towards the end of that movie, and like you notice it and you're kind of like, all right, it's forgivable because it's so fast. Yeah. And they have to do it. But then when they bring this specific character at the end of this movie in, it's almost like I'm fucking watching like a recent Terminator movie. Like that's how bad that CG looked. And it just took me out of every other part of it, which I thought was really good. Because there's some very creative, I think of the one scene in particular, like obviously there's everything that happens with the dishwasher, which that's in the trailer. That's not really a big spoiler, but when that guy who gets impaled on the dishwasher gets up and takes the door of it and just continues to mash that lady's face off.
That's wild.
To the point that it is just the lower part of her jaw. And then later in the movie gets head planted into that jaw is fucking crazy. There's also that stuff with the ear. I understand that didn't make me cringe. The moment of the entire movie that made me cringe, and there's horrific gore in this movie. The thing that made me cringe of everything was the scene where the Deadite took the dentures out of that old woman's mouth, put it in her mouth to lick it, and then put it back in her mouth because that essentially transferred the Deadite stuff into her. But like, I didn't need to see that. Like, of all the it's the dumbest thing to cringe at. There is horrific violence in this movie. There's a scene where she's fucking fighting somebody in a bathroom and has to pick up a lady's razor and just starts razoring off this person's face. It's just like wild. God damn, it is wild gore. Yeah. So that's why it's such a bummer at the end of that movie after sitting through all that. Like, oh, that looks bad. As far as the plot goes, I think that's the other issue I have with it is like every Evil Dead movie has a dark humor to it. Like even the original one, which is mostly serious, has a dark humor to it. This one doesn't. It really plays it straight in kind of a nasty way at times.
So I felt the same way. Like, I think out of all three of the most recent Evil Deads, I think the second one was still probably my favorite.
Rise.
This one, I think the violence in this one was done very well and very good. Like, that's what kind of made me sad about it, because like, I think the violence in this one tops the other two, like, bar none. Like, I think it was done so well. It's just like the story kind of threw me off, and then like
it is confusing at the beginning.
Yeah, and then like the ending didn't really keep me in it. But like the amount of like pure violence that happens in this movie, I was like, dude, this is like so great. And It was wild. I mean, hell, even to the point where at that one point where grandma is using a piece of glass to saw her leg off of her body.
And it's like a quick, like they don't linger on it, right? Because like basically when she's fighting grandma and then grandma gets sent down the stairs on like the electric chair thing or whatever, it's like a quick shot where she's stuck to it by her leg and they look down the stairs and she's literally taking that piece of glass that was stuck in her fucking eye. And pulls it out and just starts sawing her leg off. Like, it's really quick, but it's one of those things where, like at that point, you're just sitting there like, God damn, dude. Like, it's so fucking violent.
It's like, so crazy. I mean, it was so, man, it's such a good, violent, like.
I feel bad because I know if I would have went to the theater, I would have had the same reaction as I was watching Rise, where I would have just been laughing the entire time and clapping and having just the greatest time. Because that's how I was when I watched Rise. And I got to see Rise with a full... That was the first movie I saw after COVID that had a completely sold-out audience. And it was a blast because people reacted to every fucked up thing that would happen. So I know this movie would have had the same thing. I just didn't get a chance to see it. But I had the same reaction, you know, sitting at home watching it with my cats. So... Just like, God damn it. This is so absurd.
I mean, the craziest thing, honestly, number one, can we stay away from this lake? Because this lake is just this lake is a bad lake. I don't know what's going on at this lake, but this lake is bad. But that very beginning opening, that was crazy, man. I was not expecting it. Like,
no, because it's like that movie opens with like two dudes fishing in the middle of a lake, and then all of a sudden the guy pulls something up and it's like a severed head, and he's like, what the fuck's going on? Next thing, all these fish hooks come out of the water and just hook all in his eye and his mouth and just go boom and like start ripping, and like it is crazy.
It's crazy.
It is.
And then what really did it is with the other guy when he's in the water and the water starts just boiling. Yeah, and it's just like, what is happening?
It's like,
it's
stop
crazy.
going to that lake. But I'll say, like, that intro, it gets confusing because it jumps from that to this obvious like abusive marriage that this woman is in, and that is another element of the movie I feel where it suffers, is that they try to make it a point like this. Clearly, this woman was in a bad abusive marriage before this husband dies. So the whole point of the movie is like this family is gathering for the funeral for this husband. And they the family kind of does and kind of doesn't know at the same time that he was an abusive husband. But at the same time, you feel no remorse for that character at all, because he's a piece of garbage. But the way they flip from the beginning to all of a sudden they're in like some club, it's very confusing. Like they do not explain all of a sudden like, okay, this is the actual people you're going to follow in this movie. So it threw me for a second. And then I realized what was going on. I'm like, okay, now I understand. But it's confusing the way that it begins. It doesn't. I think that the last one had a better opening in terms of like getting you into the story and what was going to go on. But this one, I felt like they handled the book stuff better. Because the last one, it was like, oh, there's this shit earthquake. Oh, no, I found one of these Necronomicon books. This one, it actually explained that the grandfather was like doing research and was a part of that group that was using the Necronomicon and stuff, which I thought was interesting and cool. And also a fun fact, and I think this is really stupid at the same time, but that grandpa is the professor that they talked about in that Mummy movie that just came out. Connecting that to this universe, which is weird, but whatever. So I gave it a 7, and that's because the NCG really killed a lot of it for me, because you don't have a movie that has that level of horrific. Like, I go into an Evil Dead movie knowing it's going to be fucking crazy. And to do that for 85 minutes of this movie or whatever, and then have the last 15 be a CG mess is disappointing.
It was pretty disappointing at the end of it.
But hey, it has a really good end credit scene that potentially brings back that lady from the last Evil Dead movie. So she's not dead, and that's pretty cool. I don't know where that's going to lead. I know that the next movie that's being made right now, which is called Evil Dead Wrath, is going to be a prequel set in the 70s. So that's all I know, but that's not until 2028.
In my head, I was like, if they get all three of these girls from all of the movies,
like the 2013 remake, and then I would be down for that too. I think that'd be really cool, because they were. I thought they were trying to set that up, because remember, there's 3 books.
Yep.
And what they could do is each one of them has had one of these books, so they have to bring them together. That'd be a really cool thing to do. I don't know if they're going to do that.
Like, I thought like a multiverse for the Evil Dead. That'd be dope. Like, in my head, all I could think about was like, man, if they get all of these girls together into one movie, that movie is going to be wildly crazy. Like. And
I'll also say, for anybody out there, like there is the scene in that movie where the dog gets stabbed. It's not, they don't really show the stabbing that much. You hear it, and then that dog gets to come back as a little demon dog for a while. So
I think out of all the animals, Obsession had the worst animal.
I went into this because like Obsession, it was enough where like it actually was upsetting to me, to the point that if I had seen it a couple months earlier, I don't think I could have sat through it, because it is a really depressing opening for a movie where it's just like, damn, this dude's life sucks. Like, I could imagine. So, and then having what they do with that cat later on is just really fucked up. It's like 2 seconds, and hey, the dog comes back as a demon. So,
exactly.
Also, that sequence in the car is really well done, where they're driving, and then he kind of turns into the Deadite and starts attacking them with the car seat and everything. Like, it's the headrest, like very well done.
the dude, the brother of the guy.
Yeah. The brother, yeah.
That dude deserved to die.
Yeah, he did.
Big time.
He did. But yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed it. But if in the grand scheme of Evil Dead movies, I think it is probably the weakest one for me. And it's just because the dark humor isn't really present in it, and then the CG at the end is atrociously bad. Like it's
I can agree on that one.
So, I don't think you've watched this yet. This just hit digital this week. They shit this out on digital after not putting in the theaters, and this is Soulmate, which is the kind of in the same universe as Megan, but instead the Soulmate bot or whatever is basically it's basically Companion. So what I would say is like this movie is okay. Companion was it earlier this year? Or was that last year? Has it been that long?
I think it was 2025, honestly.
I think it was 2025.
2025.
Better movie. Way better movie than this. Like this isn't bad. Yeah. I enjoyed it. It's for a direct to DVD or direct to video on demand, whatever you want to call it, movie. I thought it was okay and like a fun and enjoyable watch. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like last summer when I sat and watched all those Poison Ivy movies. Kind of reminds me of like that level where like, yeah, it's exactly what you expect this to be. It's not bad. The only real tie this movie has to Megan is it has the same little AI robot thing in the beginning. That's it. They don't really talk about anything else. There is a really like cringy scene at the beginning of this movie involving a Zoom meeting and work from home stuff that like made me cringe hard. Maybe it's because you and I both work from home. But it was one of those things where I'm like, oh man, this is embarrassing. So, but it's okay. It's not a terrible movie. There is, I'll say, one pretty fucked up kill in this movie involving the robot, and I won't get into it, but it's pretty raunchy. Gotcha. Involving something exploding. That's all I'll say. You can use your imagination. So not in a good way. So, it's okay. I gave it a 6 out of 10. So it's worth watching, but I think it's largely forgettable. And if you've never seen Companion, watch that instead. Yeah, it's a much better movie. One. The only other things that I've watched, I'm not going to even go into it. I will just say I finished Cape Fear and then promptly canceled Apple TV. I hated Cape Fear. The end of it is atrocious. The only thing I'll say about the end is like the end of those movies and the end of that story is that dude gets fucking killed. They couldn't do it here because they want to do another season. So the end of that show is literally the dad is like choking that dude in a pool trying to drown him. And this is after this dude they were going to put him back in prison. Then he immediately got out, blah, 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 whatever. And then the wife is sitting there and she's like, no, don't do it. Let him rot in jail. And I'm like, this motherfucker already rotted in jail for 18 years and got out. Like, let him get killed. And so that show ends with that family having a barbecue. And then Amy Adams like hears something and looks over her shoulder. And that's the end. So it's like, oh, cool. We want to try and continue this 2-hour thing that was turned into a 10-hour series. And it's terrible. Gross. Also, the worst acting of Amy Adams' career. Like, she is terrible in this. Like, with this horrible Southern accent. It is. I like Amy Adams a lot. Everybody in this show should be ashamed at the product they put out. It is fucking terrible. Like, everybody. Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese have their names on this fucking thing. They should be ashamed. It is terrible. It is the worst thing I've seen in 10 years. Every aspect of it. I will never live down that line of I know what both your kids' nipples taste like. I'll never live that down. Oh. The most disgusting line I've heard in 10 years. It is terrible. Do not watch it. The only other thing that I've watched outside of rewatching the X-Files, which is great, and I didn't see you put this on your list, Dan, but I know you've watched it and we didn't talk about it, or you haven't talked about it, but King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Which I talked about it last time, so I don't need to go too in detail. I rewatched it again with my wife so she could see it, but
another
incredible season of that show.
So good.
Every episode is great.
Every episode's great, and like the stories are great. It really feels like obviously last season was good, but like
this one's even better.
It's even better. Like I am surprised at how much they made Bobby like, I mean, you liked Bobby in the original series, right? But he was always kind of weird. You never quite knew what they were going to do with him, whatever. Bobby's incredible. Like, it's nice to have him be the central character of the show. And like Hank and Peggy go off and do their stuff and the guys off. Like, but Bobby's life is very interesting to watch. Like,
it is.
Yeah, it's fun. And like him going on that TV show was great.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking it's about cooking and then realize that it's all bullshit. And then he feeds into it and then he finally is like, fuck this. Like,
I think the other thing that I really like about this season is like I didn't like how they were handling Connie in the first season. And they kind of retconned that.
Big enough part of what I would expect. And now that
they've like kind of retconned her in this season.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
I think they also did the right decision in this season of giving kind of an ending to the character of John Redcorn. Like, I don't think he's coming back.
No,
like I think they kind of were like,
they needed to figure out a way to acknowledge him and remove him from the show at the same time, and they did it.
Yeah, and I think they did it in a good way.
And and this finale again, another like perfect episode. And we can end it here, and everything's perfectly fine, or we can have more, and it's perfect.
Well, we're getting 2 more.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, if you wanted to end it here, you could, and it's great.
You could, and it'd be fine. But like, I like the finale because it not only sets it up for what's to come, but it also they went back and now finally gave full details, not only of like why they went to Saudi for 10 years or however long it was, but also like how Bobby was handled through that, how Bobby made this decision to become a chef. I think it's a nice touch that he stayed, and they mentioned that he went and lived with Luann and Lucky and stuff, because that's a good way to mention those characters without having to bring them into the show, because they really can't.
We shouldn't.
We shouldn't. No, you shouldn't recast those people. Like, I get it for somebody like Dale. Like, that's a big character for the show. You cannot get around that. And honestly, like, whoever's doing his voice now in this second season, I think is doing a good job.
Well, it's the guy who used to be Khan.
That's right.
Oh,
okay.
And obviously, like, the reason it was weird last time is because we had to halfway through, we had to like.
That guy died in real life, right. Yeah.
And now that he's had a full year, it doesn't seem as weird anymore. And Khan doesn't seem as weird anymore. And like giving Khan and Dale stuff to do together is great. Like, the only thing I would have changed, and I know why they didn't do it. The only thing I would have changed is I would have called it Hill Propane at the end. I feel like he should have changed the name, but I get
I get why
or even like Strickland Hill Propane. I think that's the answer, right?
Yeah.
But I get why they didn't. But I think out of respect, he would have kept the name. But I think he could have. And that's why he would have put his name second. It would have been Strickland Hill Propane. That's what it should have been. But I get it. But it'll be fun to see him running that thing, and like Joe Jack is back.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun to have all those guys back. Gives him something to do other than kind of like do other things with Bobby or whatever. Like, not that he shouldn't be doing those things, but God, it's such an incredible fucking show. Like, it's
you brought back to perfection.
You brought it back, and somehow it's in some ways it's better than what it was before, even though the original show is incredible too. Yeah, and it just doesn't feel weird or unnecessary like some of this Futurama stuff does. Like, I'll watch the new Futurama stuff, but I'm at a point now where I really don't need new Futurama stuff anymore. Because that show, you know why? Because I
haven't watched any of it.
Because that show doesn't evolve. King of the Hill evolved. It became what it needed to be.
It did, and it aged up those people in a good way,
right? Obviously,
where they're not too old.
Yeah, one obviously like the first series, like they never aged. But now it feels like with this one, they're gonna age as it goes on because they're gonna have new experiences and do this other stuff.
Yeah.
Futurama is just kind of like more episodes of the same stuff, which isn't bad, but it's not, I don't need that as much as I needed this and enjoy this.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Matt? Wrap us up first, though.
So I watched that movie 72 Hours. That's a new Kevin Hart movie on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
It's a movie. It essentially, it feels like them trying to do a Hangover. for this day and age, but it really kind of misses because it's just like it's very, I don't even know what word to utilize. So essentially what happens is Kevin Hart's character, he's like 40 years old, and he gets put on a text chain with a bunch of young guys who are doing a bachelor party in Miami for their friend who's getting married. And they accidentally added Kevin Hart's phone number in it. Kevin Hart plays like a marketer of some sort. Like he puts together marketing ads essentially. And in his company, he's essentially being pushed out because he's like an older guy who doesn't really understand what the newer generation wants. So since he gets put on this text chain with these new young guys, he decides, hey, I tell you what, if you guys will allow me to go with you on this bachelor party, I'll pay for everything. So he foots the bill for a nice expensive Airbnb and essentially brings all the like booze and stuff like that. I mean, it's dumb.
So Kevin Hart.
Hijinks ensue. Dumb things happen. At one point, they steal a bunch of jet skis from a drug cartel, and then the drug cartel kidnaps one of them. It essentially feels like Hangover for the new generation, except just not as funny. It's all right. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. It's not. It's if you want to put something on that's kind of dumb, put it on, but it's not the greatest. I also watched Solo Mio. That's that Kevin James movie that came out most recently.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It was a solid watch. He essentially what happens is and gets engaged to this lady. They go I forgot where they're at. I think someplace in Italy or Greece or something like that. And they're going overseas to get married. And at the last minute, she backs out the wedding, writes him a letter, tells him she can't do it. You know, he essentially spends the rest of his wedding just kind of like doing the couples package that he's already paid for because his wife left him.
Okay.
And he meets this barista lady who kind of just takes him under her wing, and she kind of just teaches him to, like, you know, try to forget about it and move on. At the very end, you find out that his fiance, the morning of, went into that coffee shop where she met the barista to tell the barista she couldn't marry her fiance, and the barista helped her write the letter that she gave to him for the wedding. It's interesting how that happened. But then he ends up getting with the barista. They end up.
It kind of reminds me of like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, in a way.
Kinda not as humorous, a little more serious. But it was actually not horrible. It was actually really solid. I think dang, I forgot the other lady. Hold on, Mio. That's not the girl. Whoever plays the barista. I think her name is Nicole Germadio. I think she did a really good job in this role. I think she did very well. I think her and Kevin James actually worked really well together. I enjoyed it. I'd give this movie like a good solid 7 out of 10. I think they did really well. I also then watched this movie called The Devil's Mouth. It is bad. Okay. It's about this group of people who go to, I think it's the Philippines, to travel this path of underwater caves together. It's kind of like their last hurrah before they like grow up.
I read something about this.
Yeah, essentially what happens is a shark gets put into these caves, like a bull shark, and essentially kills off the entire, group of people. Honestly, they all deserve it. They're all horrible people, and they're all jerks, and they deserve to all die. It was a movie. I'd give it like a 4 out of 10. It was not that fun. I then watched The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery. That is a movie starring what's his name? The guy who played in The Big Bang.
Which one? There's four. There's a couple of them.
Raj.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially what happens is his wife passes away and he's kind of stuck on this island. He runs a bookshop. This baby ends up being placed into his bookshop, and then he has a note, and the note's essentially saying, please take care of my baby for me. And he ends up just raising this kid.
Okay.
Falls in love with one of the book dealers that comes through every once in a while and kind of gives him books to read. Honestly, for me, it kind of felt like a closing on The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
Because in the entire series of that show, I always got pissed off because at the very end, he's the only one that never got a relationship when he essentially deserved the relationship. Yeah, that's the one thing about that show that really pisses me off is even Stewart found a relationship. And this guy didn't. And this guy was actually a decent guy. I didn't understand the whole point behind that. But like, if you kind of think of it in that way, it actually kind of was like a nice little ending.
Kind of works.
Yeah, it kind of worked out really. I think he did a really good job in this role. And the girl that played his interest, I don't know. Oh, hold on. Let me find her name. Lucy Hale.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think
Pretty Little Liars and stuff. I think isn't that who would?
Yeah, she's done a bunch of different things. Yeah. Shockingly though, David Arquette's in this movie. I didn't expect that. Yeah, he plays the cop that lives in the town with him, and they end up growing a friendship and stuff like that, and it's really cool the way that all kind of plays out. It was really good. I thought the little girl who played the role of like his adopted daughter, I think she did a really great job too. I definitely give this movie like a 6 out of 10. I think it was a really solid. Catch it out. It is like a love story, so quirky comedy drama type thing. And then the last thing I watched was I watched the one episode of Ted Lasso they just dropped for season 4. I love Ted Lasso. I thought the way it ended was fantastic. I was a little concerned with the way that they were going to bring up season 4, but I think it works.
That's all I need from it.
Yeah, I think it really works. It was like a lot of like this first episode was just Ted being Ted, and them coming in and asking him if he'd coach the women's team that they're writing up, and him finally making that decision to do it. And I think the way he came about that decision is really interesting. So I think this season is going to be pretty promising, to be honest with you. I don't need any more after this, though. Like, whenever they decide to end it, I think they should just be done with it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it was a great first episode, I think. So that's me.
Well, we can kick over to the emails that we have here. The first one, which I should have read earlier, but it's going to be a quick one. Brad from Waukesha, Wisconsin. There's no way Sony are going back on the disc fiasco, is there? No.
They're so long.
They'll never do it.
It was something that, I mean, let's be fair. They probably thought about it a lot and really thought, like, what are the pros and cons of doing this? What's it going to look like when we announce this? How long of a lead time should we give it? But I think once they decided they were going to do it, they were like, we're just going to lock in. We're going to do it. We're going to go radio silent for a couple months before we even talk about it. And we're just going to move on because...
Well, I also think that at some point they did line it up with GTA 6 and the no disc version of it. That is a big part because that was their final test.
Once Rockstar was like, hey, we're not going to do this, they were like, oh, okay, I think it's time, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think
maybe
that
they
was
were waiting. Maybe they were going to wait another 6 months before they said anything, because amount of time they gave was a lot of amount of time.
It is.
So maybe they were finally like, we have the green light, we can do it. But we're not backing down, man. This is it.
Not at all.
No. Gary from Lansing, Michigan. Howdy, crew. Been listening for a long time, and I wanted to reach out regarding building your own PC in 2026. As I'm sure you're all aware, with the rising prices of RAM and GPUs, it's just becoming more and more unrealistic to build your own PC at this point. I've been noticing a lot lately, companies like Alienware are selling pre-built PCs with 5090s in them for roughly the same price as a 5090 is going for. And I think he meant to say in some cases, cheaper. My question is, while you lose the satisfaction of building a PC yourself by going with something that is pre-built, at this point, because this craziness doesn't seem to be dying down anytime soon, is that a wiser decision? At least with something like one of these pre-built, it's fully upgradable and customizable. So I looked into this because I was curious when I saw the email, and like that is actually true.
Yeah,
so 5090 is anywhere in the ballpark of like $4,000 to $5,000, and there are Alienware builds that you can get that have that card in it for roughly around that same price.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to think about it. Like they probably got these parts cheaper a while ago and built this stuff, and they're trying to cater to the people who don't want to build their own PC, kind of a thing. If you make this thing $7,000, people are going to think, well, shouldn't I just buy it and build it myself?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a bad way to go now with the way prices are getting crazy, but that still seems like a fucking lot to pay for.
That's a lot. For comparison, when I built the computer that I'm on right now, and it'll be 7 years in January, but at that time it was roughly not. And again, I didn't have to buy a monitor, I didn't have to buy a keyboard or mouse or anything, because I already had those things for my last computer. But to build it at that time was about $1,500.
Yeah.
So we're talking even triple that.
Imagine $2,000 back then. It would have gotten you a beast of a machine.
Yeah, oh God, absolutely.
Yeah. But now we're talking double that. Gets you not anywhere near the top.
And now I think in this past week, now motherboards are the next thing that are starting to go way up.
Well, they're like bragging about, we already sold out of our entire 2027 supply. That's not a good thing.
Well, they're all, and again, all that stuff is just going to AI data centers.
Right.
So, which is a larger topic that we don't need to get into.
But it will crash eventually. It's going to have to, because it's not sustainable. But
it's not, in terms of like, it's not sustainable because the AI data center thing is not sustainable.
Right.
And that whole thing is going to collapse. And when that collapses, these prices will come down because that part of it will also collapse.
Yep.
But if you're at the point right now and you don't have a computer that you've built, maybe you're somebody that's only been on console and you absolutely are looking to get into this, like this is your decision. Like you are not interested in getting a PS6 or whatever Xbox's next thing are, and you want to solely go to PC and do that. I don't think it is a bad idea, simply for the fact that like you're essentially paying for the video card.
Yeah.
At that point. And buying something from like Alienware or one of those outfits, those are already kind of like custom built PCs anyway, so they are like fully upgradable. It's not like I go back to like 20 years ago, like buying a Dell or something, where those are kind of like you can upgrade the memory in those, or you could do a GPU, but it was kind of hard to, and they were very proprietary.
Yeah.
That's not like any of that.
This box and this is the box.
Hey, dude, you're getting a Dell.
Hey, dude, I had an E-machine.
I bought, when I graduated high school, I went with one of those like iBuyPower. Like that's what I took my graduation money and bought. And that thing was a piece of garbage. I RMA'd probably almost every component on that, from the motherboard to the disk drive to the GPU, like everything, and it was trash. So that thing only lasted me like 2 years. That machine ended up for me becoming a movie burning machine, because that's what I built it into. And then after that, I was like, well, I need something that works. And the second computer I ever bought was a Dell, because I didn't feel like dealing with it. And I used that for a long time until I finally built my own thing from scratch and bought all the components, and I've done that ever since. But that was a completely different time, where now I feel like if you bought something, especially like Alienware, you would be perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think you're fine now, for sure. Just buy a Steam machine, dude. Easy to get a hold of.
There you go.
Real cheap. Not a problem.
That thing ain't going to be a bitch to upgrade at all.
No, you just pop a couple screws off and you're inside.
Have you seen how the fan works for that thing?
No.
It is, so like the back of it is just a giant fan. Kind of like, think of it like how the top of the Series X looks, where it's a fan that blows things down.
Okay.
That's how it is on the side, right? And then in the front of it, it has that panel. That panel is a magnet that you can pull off, because you're meant to be able to buy other fun panels. Think of it like the faceplate, right?
Right.
But that thing, like, all the air goes into it, and then either the air comes out of the little gaps in the front from where you pull off that panel, because it has to go out the side, or a little bit of ventilation underneath the unit. Because I watched somebody do a smoke test with one of those the other day. And the thing is, you can pull off that magnetic panel on the front, and it ventilates a lot better. But now it looks ugly as shit, because you're looking right into the thing with its vent and everything. So I don't think that thing, like, as cool as looking on the outside, because you look at it and go like, oh, it kind of reminds me like a GameCube or something.
Yeah.
That thing is not a great design.
No, it's not.
So, and I feel like overheating would be a big issue with it. So, also, again, like, in the same video I think I was watching, that guy built roughly with the same components a Steam machine of his own. Like, granted, it was a lot larger, and I think he came in with better components, slightly under the price. like very slightly under, but the components were much better. So those things just aren't worth it. That controller looks kind of cool though, but Cooper from Columbus, Ohio. Hey guys, I enjoyed the conversation you all have been having last couple of episodes regarding the future of console gaming. I do think that the smartest choice going forward at this point would be build a PC, because I just see there's way more options at this point with an open-ended platform. I don't like the idea of Sony discontinuing discs, because it's going to immediately make that an ultra-closed system where everything is going to be controlled by Sony. And I think you hit the nail on the head with it coming down to the fact that there's nothing stopping Sony from removing hardware from shelves completely to have them sell it directly through them.
Yep.
It would give them all of the profit, and they would not have any incentives to run promotions or discounts. Because we talked about that last week, because that was the other scary thing I brought up, was like, that is totally a reality that could happen, where they're just like, you know what? We have no reason to sell these in
a world where you walk into Target and buy a PS6 from there. There's no way.
Not at all.
Target. I don't know if you've been to a Target lately and looked at the game section. It's all completely condensed, and it's basically Nintendo stuff, and that's it. Like, PlayStation and Xbox should not exist, essentially. But there's not a world where you walk into that store and buy one from there. No way.
No, I agree.
$1,200. You're going to be able to buy a 90-inch TV for a third of the cost of what a PS3 is.
I was just looking at I'm not in the market to get a new TV, but I was just looking at one the other day that I think was like a 75-inch or something.
$400.
And it was like $500.
I've seen them cheaper.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like TVs.
I think I bought my 75-inch TV when I had my other house. I bought it a year before I bought that house, and I bought that for like $300 on the Black Friday sale.
TVs is like, we're at a point now where it's just completely bottomed out, and there's really no money in TVs anymore, because it's all the same shit, and it's different companies putting it in a box.
Only if you go with an OLED is it still a little more expensive.
But even it's not unaffordable. Like, remember TVs used to be unaffordable.
Yes, they did.
You want a 60-inch TV like what, 10 years ago? $1,500. Like, what? Why? Yeah. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, my TV, you can go buy a TV for $400 that has every app preloaded in it.
the TV behind me, which is just I bought that because the Vizio that I had in here died and I needed something quick. This is just a TCL, cheap. I think it was a Black Friday deal. I think it cost me like $250. It's a 50-inch TV. That thing sometimes looks as good as my OLED.
Yes, and that's the other.
And I'm fine with it.
You can buy weird off-brand like LCD TVs that look just as good, if not better.
The only one I ever had any problems with in return was I bought one of those Hisense, and that thing gave me this weird ghosting issue. And it was one of those things where it's like the minute you see it, you cannot unsee it. And I ended up returning that TV because I had it for a week. And I forget what game I was playing it, but the minute I noticed that ghosting issue, I then could not unsee it in anything that I did. And I was like, I can't live with this for the next like 10 years or whatever. And that's the other thing too. Like, I don't feel like TV technology has moved forward in any meaningful way since like 2015.
What else,
outside of an OLED?
What else can we do though?
There's nothing else.
I don't know.
Beyond an OLED TV now. Your eyes.
Because you got to think at this point.
You're gonna make it wider?
Yeah, I was about to say at this point your eyes can't even see that kind of clarity.
You can't
so it's
see
like why?
You can't see any of that stuff. So where do we go? There's nowhere.
You're gonna make it all so they can be full screen again. So you have that 70 millimeter IMAX experience like the Odyssey, right?
We get a TV like the old ones had, where I can take a Blu-ray disc and put it in the side.
There we go.
And there's just a Blu-ray player in there too. That would.
There you go.
That's a TV to buy, right there.
That's a TV I'd buy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Alex from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hey guys, are any of you just tired of all the bullshit? I play games to escape reality for a few hours a day, and now with reality hitting video games and price hikes, tariffs, poor remakes, removing options from consumers, it all just seems like this hobby has become another casualty of the modern era. What do you all think? How do you cope with it? I cope with it by playing old games.
Gaming is dead. Play old games.
Like you and I just spent 30 minutes talking about Alan Wake 2, a game that came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, because it's still one of the best games I've played in a while. Like
the thing is, I have, and you're the same way, I have such an absurd backlog of shit that I can play that, like,
if I never
if the PS6 really isn't a good thing, I'm good for a long time.
I'm good for a very long time. I like to replay games. I've got, buckets of Super Nintendo and Nintendo and 64. I also can download pretty much any game I want from PS2 and earlier and play it pretty easily.
Well, that's also the reason why I've been advocating lately of, like, I think the next generation at some point is just building a new PC, because not only can you play everything current on Steam,
you can play anything you've ever
you can emulate anything up to a certain era very easily.
We're at the point now where, like, PS3 games can be emulated pretty well. It's a matter of time before somebody gets PS4 working pretty well. But even if you only go up to PS2, I've got thousands of things I could play.
Oh, for sure.
Game Boy Advance, I've got pretty much every handheld game you could ever think of playable in that analog pocket. Not to mention Super Nintendo, Nintendo. It's just what is a game? What's a realistic game to release for the PS6 that would make you spend $1,200? Name one.
Tenchu.
Fuck off.
There you go. New Tenchu. That's a pretty good one.
Asshole.
Really? Yeah. I don't know, because we're getting GTA 6 this generation. I think that's their mistake.
Would Final Fantasy 17 make me spend $1,200? No. And I own every version of every Final Fantasy game. No. I'm done. I can't. I don't even know. Like, 1,200 might be high. It's probably 1,000, right? I can't even justify that.
But here's the other issue, right? If this RAM and memory issue continues, that 1,000 or 1,200 is actually going to turn to 1,800 in the next year after it, because
there has to be a number where even they are like, we cannot do this.
I don't think they can even do 1,200. I think that it's going to be like
is high. I think 1,000 is. If we're being realistic, 1,000 is the absolute max I would see people still buying it, right?
Yeah.
I think it would still be less, though.
You'd want it to be less, but 1,000. I think if you made it $9.99.99, people would fall for that and do that. But
yeah,
you can't. 1,200. Who's buying that? Are you buying?
Well, it's like I told you. I think that the Steam machine.
Christmas. Fuck.
Yeah. I think after like the Steam machine is 1,200, and I think after this initial run, is done, and they have it all shipped, it's not going to be selling. Not at that price.
Well, now there's like, could the Switch 2 go up in price even more? It fucking better not.
I told you, I think it was today, I read that it might be going up to $800.
For what?
That's insane.
What? What is on that?
In time for Ocarina of Time remake,
Wow.
right?
I just met it. I can't wait to borrow your Switch 2 to play that.
The one and only game.
Like, my son came up to me today. He's 8, and he knows I have a ton of stuff. He's like, Dad, is there a console you don't own other than the Switch 2? And I had to think about it for a while, and I was like, well, I don't own like an Atari Jaguar. But it also made me realize I'm probably never going to own a Switch 2. Just because... For what? Why would I want it? He doesn't even...
I don't use mine.
Yeah.
I try, like, I give it the college try. like every 2 weeks I look at it, I'm like, all right, and I'll pick it up for a little bit, like an hour here and there, and I'll try to play something on it just because I have to try and justify it, but I don't play it. And I will give it some time when Ocarina of Time remake comes out because I'm very interested in that, but I don't know, after we're a month and a half away from a new Fire Emblem for that. I don't even think I'm going to buy that.
I wouldn't. Why would you?
Because I just don't care. It's just too much. That's $80 digitally, by the way. And I'm 100% sticking to the digital thing for this stupid system. So
yeah.
And I'll buy Zelda digitally. I'm not happy about it, but
when you buy,
it is what it is.
When you buy that digitally, I'm you're gonna let me borrow.
You can just play it on a different profile.
You didn't buy Star Fox yet, right?
No, I never
buy
bought
a
it.
physical copy of that just to own it, and then you could play my physical copy.
That's fine. Yeah, I never bought it because I
might buy a physical copy to play it on your system, and then
there you go. That's fine.
Own it because I love Star Fox.
That at least is only, I think, $40 or $50. It's not a full price game. So which
I would buy that.
I think it was received okay. I don't know.
It just seems like
I did see that statistic today. I don't know if you saw it, that unlike the PlayStation 30, I think it's 38% of Nintendo owners are still buying games physically. It's a much higher percentage, but I think that's still going to be that way for a while.
It will. Nintendo, I think for this generation of console, it will be. I don't know if and when what is next for them, but
they can never go back off of the hybrid thing now. That's the problem.
They can't.
But they can't do it.
They can't do that, but they can certainly make it all digital.
Yeah, they can.
They can make
100%.
the next thing not backwards compatible with chips for easily.
There you
I
go.
think as far as Nintendo's gone, I think we've got a fucking decade of this system. I
think so,
don't see
too.
them doing anything new.
I don't either. And our final email, which I should have read earlier when we were talking about Halo. Connor from Dallas, Texas. Howdy, y'all. Any opinions on Halo campaign Evolved? Personally, I'm just not enjoying it. I think this is a case where we've gone back and messed with too much of a great game. The weapons feel off. I find that having the default Warthog controls changed to the triggers to be baffling. Thankfully, that can be rectified quickly, but why is that set as the default? I just feel like Halo MCC is a better value proposition that costs less currently than buying this remake, and no multiplayer. Insane. Really just would rather go and play MCC. That's the sentiment for that game.
Well, I think we wrote that email 2 hours ago. That's everything that's wrong with the game. It feels wrong.
100%.
It's built wrong. It expects the wrong thing out of you as the player. It's not good.
I don't think I mentioned when we were talking about it earlier, but another part of that bothers me now that I realized is re-recording the dialogue for Cortana to then add her telling you where to go and what to do.
Oh my God, it's all the time.
Constantly. Like that first scene where it's Chief, go down this corridor, look for the green light. That will show you where. It's just I know.
First Halo game, especially in a game that has waypoint objectives on your screen. I don't need to be told where to go.
Well, that's the thing. Like the original, so if you go back and play the original Halo, or you play the version of it that's in MCC, right? Like those maps and stuff, eventually they would show you a waypoint if you took too long fucking around. In this game, they just show you everywhere to go. Like when we were playing Silent Cartographer, that level can be really fucking confusing when you're trying to escape and get out of there. Not in this version of the game, because it's just like arrow here, arrow there. There you go. We flew through that mission faster than I've ever had in that game, ever playing it. And the same with the level with the flood. That first, and it just makes me think, like, we ended the other night because we got to the library, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to play the library tonight. It's too long. But then I thought about it later, and I'm like, they're probably just going to have arrows to show me where to go the entire fucking time, so it won't take that long. And Cortana's friend's like, Chief, go around the corner. Look here. Hey, look out for that dude that has a sniper rifle. That might hurt you. Like, it's just, it is bad.
It is first Halo.
Like, yeah, it is just, it's disappointing. So, man, it's a bummer. So, as always, though, send your emails in to podcast572@gmail.com. Otherwise, we'll be back in another 2 weeks for another edition of the podcast. Thank you for listening or watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Stay safe.